The college football experience week 4 preview reaction show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up. And what do you do? Sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm.
This is Jim Mora, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience week 4 reaction show. Oh, we got some bangers. We had some bangers today. A lot of the games were classic. I don't know.
Wild one, man.
There were a lot of wild ones. There was just ridiculous outcomes. And of course, there was 17-yard field goals missed by East Carolina, which we will get to all of it. Buddy, youtube.com/the college experience. This was a wild Saturday, man. And I'm excited about the future. All right. I'm not coming in with I'll complain about a couple ref situations, but not doing what I did last week. Cause last week was the worst Saturday I can recall my whole life. You're getting positive, Dundee, and a lot of it has to be with a few money line plays that I have going on. So
funny how things look sunny.
It's true.
Look sunny when you're making money.
Things do look sunny when you're making money. All right. Did you write that?
That was fresh right there.
Robert Frost.
I spit bars right there. That's right.
Robert Frost.
That's right.
YouTube.com/the college experience. Get on over there. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to. My name is Kobe Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
I bet 1,000 games today, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I got action on 3 games left. But betting on all these games is a lot of fun.
Hey,
I wish the whole chat could sit in the studio and watch the games with us.
it is fun.
It's such a range of emotions too. Start, just like, oh fuck you, and then like a second later, 15 minutes later, yeah.
Colby being a Buffs fan, you want to talk about a range of emotions. Holy shit.
Or ECU fan when they kick.
Yeah. That's not even a range of emotions. Like you called.
Yeah.
With
long
certainty,
before I said,
certainty.
it's a 4th down. We're gonna miss a 20-yard field goal.
It wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close.
So predictable. That inspired us to go back and look up the stats of Mike Houston's kickers. Really, you mentioned that he's
horrible.
He inherited Scotty Montgomery's kicker up until the 2020 season.
You're trying to get me to start negative. I was going to go to this later.
Okay.
I was going to go.
You're the one. I feel like you brought up ECU.
It's true. Well, the game's on because, all right, if you want to really go negative, let's go negative. These goddamn lightning delays are full of shit. All right.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many lightning delays over the past 2 years.
Now you're actually screaming at clouds.
The NCAA, I guarantee you they changed the mileage on this because I just don't buy it. I don't buy this many delays this often.
There aren't that many lightning strikes within 10 miles.
I've been watching college football every Saturday since like 1991.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it happens at a much higher rate these days.
Yeah. There aren't 5 games delayed every week.
Chalking that up to global warming?
Yep, that's right. That's right. Now we're going down that rabbit hole.
Is that part of the algorithm?
That's right. It wasn't Woke Campbell Stadium this weekend, but it was pretty close.
Oh boy, I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for Farmer JMU Duke. Oh man, I don't even know the intro. I'm just still. I'm like Mac Brown.
Hey, you and me both. Yeah, Mac Brown.
Look, I'm gonna give him his introduction, but hold on, Mac Brown today.
Well, I don't get the brain man cold, but
Give it up for the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing. Patty C is the place to be.
Hi-oh, up.
Let's get that. Let's get
Yeah,
that
boy.
music.
Yeah, boy. So yeah, I mean, bullshit weather delays. West Virginia.
Global warming. Throw that in there.
This time, they benefited. Maybe they learned from the.
No, all the teams don't really benefit. A few years ago when it was Iowa State, Iowa State was up to like a 17-3 lead, and it was like a 12-hour delay. And they come out of it, and Iowa wins the game. It's like two different games.
Yeah, you get a chance to like remotivate your team. Meanwhile, the other team is like resting on their laurels.
I actually think like they should have a university person, like whenever there's like a gigantic run by the other team, you should just say, whoa, we got lightning in the area. We got lightning in the area.
Yeah, get some fake weather. Create some weather. You know, if you
I feel like you can legit do that in Oregon and Washington every day.
That's right. Yeah.
Like any cloudy.
Just call it. I saw it.
Or Florida, the storms come up so fast. Yeah, we got it. There's a category 4 over here. Don't want to. We got to take. Don't want to take too much of a chance.
Chemtrailing over the stadium about the second quarter. We're like, we're getting our ass kicked here.
Oh, buddy. But hell, buddy, let's just start with JMU because look, I didn't bet this game. I took JMU in the points on the sheet.
Well, let's be honest. Anyone who watched JMU's first 2 games did not see this.
And I'm a Bob Chesney guy at Holy Cross.
Yeah,
I was a big fan, but holy shit!
I'm trying to get these keys out so I can get the shotgun process started.
GBO Farms has been asking for a Patty C shotgun after the wedding.
I can't get them out. They're telling me no. They know they're about to get abused, these keys. All right, here we go. Shotgun, at least number 1 of the night.
Yeah, and Danny Dumpchick gives us $20, by the way, saying thank you, Western Kentucky, because their weather delay. Dude, Toledo was up 14-0. Looking like they were. I'm telling you, there's something to this shit. Let's do it. We need a deep dive on this. Shout out to Danny Dumpchick. We're grateful, man.
Yeah, that is true. I wonder how often the score gets closer after a weather delay.
We need a deep dive on this. We need to hire a douchebag to just do this. All right. Hey, that was almost an interception by Garcia. That was one every.
Beer spilling everywhere, but
yeah, come on, get it. YouTube.com/thecollegeexperience.
JMU hanging the most points of any team ever on UNC, along with the ECU Pirates, which you mentioned was 10 years to the day.
10 years to the day.
10 years to the day.
What's up, Tar Heels?
Purple and gold whips UNC every 10 years on this day.
I think you just retired Mac Brown. You know what's hilarious? This is exactly what Bronco Mendenhall did to him. Remember they rushed for like 700 yards against Texas and like that retired him from Texas.
We just did our BYU.
Every time this is how Mac Brown ends his tenures. He just gets obliterated randomly by a team you're not thinking has any chance.
And the fans are just like, that's enough. All right, here we go. Woo!
All right, youtube.com/thecollegeexperience. Get on over there, check it out. Woo! There we go. Give me that Ric Flair woo. You got woo! Do you have a beer? I don't have a beer over here. Do you have one? Give me a fucking beer. There we go. Let's go.
I got beer all over this fucking table.
Well,
just scoot it to the side.
Gonna need to Windex that one, buddy.
Yeah.
Windex on wood? I don't know.
No, we'll figure it out.
What the hell are we talking about? Oh, we need to do a deep dive. Just on this game. Shout out to GBO Farms. There's your shotgun, buddy. I mean, 70-50.
You know what?
JMU's offense, the 2 weeks I had watched, remember they were on bye last week. What happened on that bye? Did you just bring in pussy for everybody? I mean, because week 1, that offense did not look good against Charlotte. You still won the game.
They turned it on in the second half, but even that was
offense still didn't look like prolific.
Yeah, that was like a lot of defense. That was really Charlotte playing terrible.
Offense, right? Like, and then the Gardner Webb game, you score a cool 13, right?
Yeah, and it took the entire time to beat him.
Gardner Webb was inside the 10.
That was a serious sweat.
And then what the hell was this? But you know what? Carolina is kind of good for this, like once a year. But the
Carolina's
never
good for this
70
like several times.
Never 70.
Yeah, 70s. Tough. I mean, it came close.
And I feel like it could have been more.
App State was close to 70. Wake Forest was close to 70 a couple
ECU
times.
got him to 70.
ECU got him, yeah. So fairly often, but I'm glad we were able to get to that 70 mark. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't just offensively. In fact, Alonzo Barnett started 1 of 6, as the announcers mentioned frequently, before exploding in the second half, or really the second quarter. But I mean, Bob
53
Chesney,
points at halftime.
I gained a tremendous amount of respect for Bob Chesney for, just dialing.
I told you
shit
about
up.
my guy, FCS. Hey,
Dude,
that's how you
you
know the real ones.
I don't know why it never occurred to me before, but if you're gonna dial up a game plan against it in a game you got to win against a probably more talented team, early and often with the trick plays, early and often with the fucking surprises, and that's what he did. Whether it was the onside kick, whether it was like, I don't know if there was.
I don't know that I've ever seen a coach be better at a bye week in my life.
Holy shit. Yeah, pretty damn impressive. And look, things broke the right way. Even like when we messed up, like when who's the quarterback? I'm drawing a blank for UNC.
Oh, why am I drawing a blank on it too? It's not Jacoby Criswell came in.
Jacoby Criswell started, right?
Yeah.
And then Connor Harrell
came in.
Leave it to UNC to only get the only black Connor on earth.
Criswell threw for 475. You can't blame it on him. He did have 2 picks, but I mean,
yeah, look, JMU let 50 get put on the board against him. It's not like we played a perfect game, but when we were rushing him, I guess there was a snap that kind of went past him and over his head. He ran and picked it up, rolled out, threw it out of bounds, and we had a guy in hot pursuit that decided to blast him, a second after he threw it. Took the, roughing the passer on. It was, I think, 3rd and 12, so we would have gotten the ball back. But as a result, Criswell's kind of dinged up for a few plays. Connor Harrell comes into the game. He fumbles the snap the next play, and JMU gets it back. So it's like we get even better field position, or at least
what if
the
I
same.
told you North Carolina outgained you by 5 yards?
That's insane.
You give up 70 points.
And you get outgained. That's got to be a first ever.
That's incredible. That's an incredible stats.
Yeah.
616 total yards for Carolina, 611 for JMU.
Not much defense being played, but wildly entertaining.
Block punt for a touchdown, pick 6,
2 block
almost
punts.
Another pick 6.
Because Carolina got a black punt for a touchdown. Crazy game. But hey, we put it on their ass. That's I want to say the last time we played UVA, we got them. Last time we played Virginia Tech, we got them.
Dude.
Last time we
this
played
one
UNC,
will live
we got
on. Like I said, I before when you guys had 50 at halftime, or not even that, when you got to like 38, I was like, this reminds me of that ECU game. Yeah. I didn't think you'd actually get 70, right? So I mean, but let me tell you, that lives on. You have that forever.
Mm-hmm.
You have that forever.
Yeah, beautiful.
Anytime, I'm talking 50 years from now.
Anytime some smug
I know
UNC
you'll.
student.
I know me and you'll be long dead, but I'm saying you could run into anybody. All right,
that's right.
Run into anybody
on my deathbed to any UNC fan that comes by.
Your nurse.
Like
that's
70,
why. That could be
70.
why you die.
That's right.
Your nurse
She
could
pulls
be
the plug
sitting
on
over
me.
there. She's a Carolina grad, and you find that out. You gave up 70 points to us, and then she's not going to check on you for a few days. You're going to die.
Do we not? Everyone thought you come up into the Sun Belt, maybe you can't hang, right? Maybe it's going to be a rough transition in the FBS. I'm not disrespecting the Sun Belt or the transition. I'm just saying it's been better than expected. Maybe if we were to get an ACC invite at this point,
buddy, you need an invite to the playoffs based off today. Are you kidding me?
I mean, we play like we did in the first half. We're beating Georgia's ass.
Look, I'll say this: after watching App State get destroyed for the second time this year, on Thursday, and after watching Coastal get destroyed by the Wahoos, which we'll get to, JMU's got to be the favorite to win the Sun Belt East because they're the only conference with 2 divisions.
Yeah, probably. Who else is in that conversation right now?
Georgia. I mean, no, the Sun Belt's down.
Yeah,
with the exception of JMU. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't say that right now. I can't say because there's a freight train in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Holy,
we'll see.
Fuck.
I mean, it's one game. If we measure that against the other 2
games, you think that was a little
games,
Buster Douglas?
It might have been a little Buster Douglas. They got up for it. Who knows how up UNC was? But UNC was UNC? No, UNC wasn't coming out of a bye, were they? I don't think so. Who'd they have last week?
It's Central, North Carolina Central. They were coming out of a bye. No, I'm saying Central's a good FCS though.
But they got challenged by Central. They shouldn't have been asleep at the wheel.
Dude, you should give up 70 points. I don't care if you're playing fucking Alabama. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or Georgia. It's like,
yeah, it was embarrassing. Mac Brown, even the announcers, a lot of people still disrespecting the Dukes, saying, look at the level of competition. This is embarrassing. Fuck you. Hey, we're okay. Dude, we're a pretty good team out here.
Dude, here's how I know the top 25 is bullshit. If JMU is not number 2 in the nation, only Texas deserves to be number 1. JMU, what they just did, no one else has done against it. I don't know if you know this, folks, but North Carolina was undefeated with a win over the Big Ten and Minnesota, right?
End of the day, though,
they beat somebody else. Dude, Charlotte.
It was a 20-point win. We might have hung 70, but we gave up 50.
Dude, you were up 53 to what? 17 at halftime?
20 something, 21 or something, but
still, come on.
It was impressive. Look, great win. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but I'm going to do another shotgun for it. In a little bit.
Yeah, in a little bit. Wait up here. We got to talk ball before you pass out.
Yeah.
Well, it was a tough time for the state of North Carolina. Actually, this could be a bad omen because as my Pirates are on right now,
and a barn burner here.
NC State. And I hope you cashed in on this one. We gave this away as a triple lock, I think it was. Noah did a clip. 59-35. And this thing was... Dabo's a classy guy because this was 45-7 at halftime. At halftime, you had the state of North Carolina. What NC State and North Carolina are what, like 4 miles apart?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Like 20 minutes, right? 20, 30 minutes. It's pretty,
I think less
close.
than that.
Really?
I think less than that. I could be full of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, but dude, at halftime of both these games at the same time, simultaneously, you had Clemson up 45-7 and JMU up 53-21.
Yeah. Tough day for old.
Is it basketball season at Tobacco Road?
Seriously.
Good God. I mean,
what else happened? I mean, Duke on by? What happened?
No, Duke hit for me.
Who Duke play?
Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee.
Got it done.
That's right. It took a while.
I'll get to that.
Took a while. They pulled
there's
away.
Another fucking delay in that game.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it took a while.
It took a while because the fucking 10-hour wait. Whew. I mean, shout out to Clemson. NC State's really bad, right? Are they worse than Florida State?
I
think they're worse than Florida State.
They're so bad.
I think they're worse than Florida State.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Which is, where the hell did that come from?
I don't know, man. But that was an ass whooping. And at the same time, Indiana bodied Charlotte.
Boom. JMU West. I like that.
Now that was 31-14 at halftime. So who knew Charlotte was going to keep it the most respectable at halftime for the great state of North Carolina? But the final score is 52-14. As Kurt Cignetti, I told you, just give him the national championship now.
Yeah,
they should be top 10. Look, they keep throwing in this Missouri bullshit every fucking week. How the hell is Indiana not, like, they destroy everybody on their schedule?
That Indiana just went and throttled a UCLA team last week.
That gave LSU a game today.
Yeah,
LSU dressed it up late.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, and that was in
Baton Rouge.
Well, yeah,
but it was at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, and Indiana went to the Rose Bowl and fucking annihilated. Indiana's a really good team this year,
dude. They're gonna be. I was looking at the NC Nick sent us the schedule. I was like, they're gonna be 9-0.
Yeah, let me get that pulled up.
They're gonna be 9-0 going in this fucking ECU chokes.
Indiana's
ECU goes up 17-0 or 16-0 every single week. And then they're going to choke. Mike Houston makes no adjustments at halftime. He's a fucking idiot. The kicking game is horrible.
Let me ask you the spreads on these next 5 games. Hosting Maryland in Bloomington, Indiana.
I mean, what I set it at, or what will Vegas set it at?
What would you set it at?
Indiana -6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going to Evanston against Northwestern.
Indiana -6.
Yeah, fair. Bye week before hosting Nebraska on homecoming. Not that really makes a difference, but
Indiana -2. Yeah.
3.
2.
Yeah. Hosting Washington.
Indiana -1.
Yeah. So they're probably not going to win them all.
They very well could.
They could.
They get the tougher opponents in Bloomington.
And then at Sparty, November 2nd.
No, that one. I'll say he's a pick.
Before hosting Michigan, who admittedly did what they had to do and got that win today. They fought. They looked better. I don't know if Orji is going to make that offense legit, but you combine him with the defense. I don't know. They just came out and played well today, Michigan. I'll give them credit. Not amazing, but look, Indiana's scores 31-7, 77-3, 42-13, 52-14. They haven't won a game by less than 24 points.
Buddy,
they're killing everyone.
And he's living up to the hype. Yeah. He talked that shit.
Google him.
Remember at the halftime of the Indiana basketball game?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, well, I let you know. We're coming from Michigan. They suck ass. Ohio State sucks ass.
Guess what? They get them.
Purdue sucks ass.
They get them with the last three games of the season. Michigan, Ohio State, and Purdue.
If I'm Michigan, Ohio State, and Purdue right now, I'm terrified.
I'm shaking in my fucking
boots. Unbelievable. Next up, what do we got? I cashed on the Green Wave as well. It's easy to see a tide turn. They actually struggled a little bit more than I thought.
Dude, that was not in hand at all.
Yes, 41-33. They get it done.
So let me go back to what we talked about on Tuesday. Yeah, is he turning this thing back to a winner?
Maybe.
Down in Lafayette.
I'll say this, too. Sunbelt West is really down. Maybe he can pull a Napier and take advantage.
Yeah.
Because that's what Napier did. I don't know that Napier was ever that good of a coach.
The Bobcats, when did they play Texas State?
I got you right here.
What do we got?
I got you right here. They play Texas State on October 29th on a Tuesday night.
I need to get these standings pulled up, but that could be a bit of a game right there.
Yes. Look, folks, want to tell you the college football experience as part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. The war against corporate gambling is heating up, and SGPN needs you to do your part. All right. If you could take a couple seconds and rate and review the college football experience, we'd be very, very grateful. And more importantly, could you tell a friend? Because word of mouth is the heartbeat of this very show. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy Pick'em is always adding to their awesome menu. They now have first touchdown projections. There are a ton of ways to win with NFL, college football, CFL, MLB, MMA, and much, much more. Their lobby is jam-packed with profit boost and no sweat entries. You can now use specials to boost on all flex entries as well. So sign up, and when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back on the college football experience. Patty C went and grabbed another 9 beers.
It's that kind of day, baby.
Tulane though is getting look. I started off with Clemson. Tulane as a banger. Look, this Saturday was up and down, but man, the highs were super high. I had some fire money line plays today. A lot of our favorite squads won today. Oh yeah. Good day as a fan. Your Army Black Knights are fucking awesome too. Appalling. Bryce even dressed that up. That thing was 37-7 at one point. Bryson Daly, what do you have? 23 carries for 100 some odd yards. He had 100 rushing yards. I got you. Well, first off, Bryson Daly was 6 of 9 for 107, 2 touchdowns. Efficiency, and then running the ball as 23 carries, 145 yards, and 3 touchdowns from your quarterback. Maybe he should be in the Heisman conversation, dude. If Army keeps winning, why not? All right, look. Why not give him an invite? Look, if East Carolina's not going to do this thing, we just fucking losers. Fuck Mike Houston. He fucking sucks. He's never beaten. They showed that stat earlier. He's never beaten a good team. What's off? How do you blow a 17-point lead? Chip. What the fuck is Liberty's coach's name? Jamie Chadwell. Yeah. Well, have they ever played? 4 times. 4-0. Chadwell at JMU. I guess. Oh no, when he was at the Citadel, maybe. I don't know. I didn't even see when they played. Lenore Ryan? Yeah, Lenore Ryan. I think. Yeah. So. Shout out to Welcome to UAB. Classic guy. Army's going to win the AAC. Hello. You mentioned that a favorite of ours might be coming back next week, as early as next week, potentially. Tyrell Robinson. He practiced this week. The 4 horsemen. Army's doing this with that like their best player for the past 2 years. Yeah. Although I will say Noah Short again continues to come in and be a great contributor. I want to see that box score real quick.
but I know that he had. I'm pretty sure. Let's get Noah Shorts. 1 carry for 23 yards, but receiving 2 carries for 47 yards and a touchdown. Didn't get many touches, but when he did, he made it count. So 23-yard receiving average and 23-yard rushing average.
And I'm sorry, by the way, if I take long gaps without talking, because I am currently riding ECU money line, BYU money line, and Hawaii minus.
The sweat is happening as we speak.
Yeah. So apologies if I do so, but this is just it's the nature of the beast. Army looks really good, man. I'll be honest. If you throw out my favorite teams in college football, like that I've rooted for like 30 years,
you have to like the service.
Army
academies.
is that team, man.
Yeah, especially because
all of the service academies.
They are. I mean, yeah. Air Force, Army.
I love Air Force.
They're all
Army.
committed to the run. It's beautiful. In fact, I want to pull up the stats on that and see where Navy falls, because I had figured that they probably would have regressed or run.
Shout out to Terrell Furman Jr., who did win a lock battle. Just Iowa State putting it on Arkansas State today. Iowa State, they're gonna win it all.
They got to be considered contenders in the Big 12 right now, and
certainly.
What's that? Are they undefeated still?
Yeah, they beat Iowa, and Iowa looks pretty damn good today. Right?
That could be a huge win coming down the stretch. Imagine if it's a 9-3 Iowa or a 10-2 Iowa State. It's an obvious, that's,
can we get a Cy-Hawk playoff game?
Or a 10-2 Iowa and a 10-2 Iowa State.
I want a Cy-Hawk playoff game in the snow, because I've been saying that should be the final game of the season for 30 years.
That would be so great. Yeah, it should be. I mean, what was Iowa State plays a random team every year, and Iowa versus Nebraska, it's okay, but
they give them Farmageddon, but they're moving that to the fucking beginning of the season next year.
I feel like that's never been the end of the season game.
No consistency.
Yeah.
Villanova, Maryland got it done. We don't need to talk about that.
I got this pulled up here.
What are we talking here?
Rushing attempts per game. I don't know if it's been updated for this week, but Army sitting there at number 1 in the nation with 55 rushes a game. Then you have UCF and UNLV, pretty rush happy, but then Air Force and Navy at 4 and 5 respectively. So 3 of the top 5 teams rushing attempts per game in the nation are the service academies. How can you not love service academy football?
Oh yeah, I mean, they're by far my personal favorites, aside from my fandom.
Speaking of service academies, I don't know if we're going out of order here, but while we're on it, Navy.
Well, you want to bring it up? Moneyline play. Myself and Terrell Furman on the morning show put together a fire little parlay round robin. And you better believe we talked all about the midshipman money line against Memphis as a letdown spot after the Florida State win. And Blake Horvath and the midshipmen got it done.
Impressive.
Buddy, the money line was very good to me today. This is why I encourage you, on dogs, you should always take on the ones that we talk about a lot of times that we think that are live. I would encourage the listener to take the points and the money line, because just sprinkling, I do a larger wager most times on the points, but I still sprinkle that money line because I could see this game cashing out, and that's what happened, and it got us rich today.
I enjoy a quarterback with 12 passing attempts beating a quarterback with 56 passing attempts.
Yeah, that Memphis foo bullshit with Ryan Silverfish, it ain't gonna fucking work. And all these Memphis fans, by the way, I cannot wait, because on the when I did the Memphis team preview, good lord, when I hit the under, now they could still hit the over, but they got in there and got after us. They're
letting you have it.
Oh yeah. I'm excited for them to lose this game, and
come back down to earth a little bit.
I know they can still hit the over. They go 11-1 or something, but I don't think they will. But I don't know. UTSA looks worse than I thought. But nice win for the midshipmen.
What's the season win total for Memphis?
I got to pull it up again. I want to say it was
8.5, 9.
Yeah, I was thinking 8.5, maybe 9.5. I don't know. I have to pull it up.
That's a big loss.
I don't remember off the top of my head. But I did get this game incorrect as far as picking. Florida, Mississippi State. The Gators rose up And by the way,
that was going to happen.
I'm going to make a prediction. I feel very good about this prediction. Mississippi State's going 1-11 because Blake Shapen's out for the season. He got injured today. He's out for the year.
How like that? Okay, Alex Galesh has South Florida looking pretty good, right?
Well, they could beat UMass. They could be 2-10.
Even still, I mean, I guess there's like that much of a talent disparity or discrepancy between Mississippi State and a lot of the teams that they play. But between Toledo to get throttled by them, Jeff Lebby has run the same offense that all these other dudes are running that are having, you call it cheat code offense. It's instant success. It generates a lot of points. And generally speaking, it's going to get you to like 8 or 9 wins for any team that's running it really proficiently. But obviously it has its its limits once you get to like big time competition against great defenses or whatever, that traditionally it has. I don't know if we've seen it. Has it won the national championship?
No, that cha shit. We'll see if it ever works.
I mean, look, Mike Leach's offense, cha.
No, but at least he didn't do that bullshit with the quarterback, the abrupt slide.
That's true. But largely the, Mike Leach's offense was very similar to what these guys are doing.
Lebby runs way more.
He runs way more, and there's a much more vertical element to the passing attack, whereas Leach is kind of like a ball control passing system. Son
of a bitch. I'm sorry.
And that's where it bogs down when you don't have the athletes to just sprint past, everyone vertically. And so that's why they lose in the big games. But why is Lebby at Mississippi State struggling to get this thing going so much? I mean, offensively, it doesn't even seem like this. He was with Tennessee a few years ago when they were in the number 1 offense, wasn't he? Before
Lebby was not a team. He was at UCF.
He was UCF, okay. And then he went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And prior to that, I believe
then Ole Miss, right?
Yeah.
He went
UCF, Ole Miss, Oklahoma.
Either way, all of those offenses went. They moved the ball, and now he gets it on his own, and they're not moving it. I don't get it, but whatever.
Florida, it cools off for Napier a little bit, but they have the very Golden Knights after a bye week.
That's a huge game. I mean, getting this win was big he might have been, officially done after this game, but I mean, going into the bye, especially him coming out of a bye really needs to perform well against UCF. If they take the loss, then the players probably quit on the season. Would you say?
I'd say so.
What does Florida have after that?
Well, it's not looking like the hardest schedule ever anymore. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But it is looking like. I mean, they got Tennessee. Obviously, actually, there is some hard games, obviously, still. But my point is, Florida State, LSU, and Kentucky don't look like great teams to me.
Kentucky looked better today. I mean, Kentucky did almost beat Georgia.
They're Kentucky.
Yeah. I mean, what?
They also got housed by South Carolina.
Yeah. Okay, let's call that the aberration. Right?
Let's just call it Kentucky football.
Yeah.
They get up for like a game or two.
Yeah.
They'll be 6-6, 7-5.
Let me look at Kentucky overall. So far, they are 2-2. Okay. Beat the crap out of a bad Southern Miss team.
Winless Southern Miss team.
Yeah.
Right? Or no. Wait, they might have beat an FCS.
Got their ass kicked by South Carolina, kept it within a point of Georgia, and then really put it on Ohio today. A nice win. But yeah, you're probably right. Kentucky.
Look, even the Cats fans in there. These are Kentucky fans saying Kentucky's terrible.
Right? I don't know if they're terrible, but all that to say, that
let's fucking
is
go.
a winnable
Let's
game for Florida in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Touchdown ECU.
Yeah.
Very nice. But UCF at Tennessee, Georgia at Texas, LSU.
Yeah, I mean, it's still
Ole
a
Miss.
very hard schedule.
You can't tell me it's not a fucking.
Of course, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying before
Yeah.
Florida State, we thought, oh, this 12-0 team last year. LSU, LSU looks like shit to me so far this year.
Yeah, they could beat LSU at home.
Yeah.
But they'll be done, and Napier will likely be done by then too.
Yeah, but obviously Tennessee and UCF. I mean Tennessee,
Georgia, and
I've
Texas.
always had Tennessee as a playoff team this
Tennessee,
year.
Georgia, and Texas might be the top 3 teams, and throw in Ole Miss. That actually might be the top 4 teams.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Dude.
JMU just dropped 70.
It's true on North Carolina.
Ole Miss has beaten nobody. Their wins mean nothing to me. They are still at 0-0 to me. Them and Ohio State are the same team right now.
I agree. But again, they have looked very good in doing what they're supposed to do.
None of those teams have a winning record.
There's nothing you can really take away from that. But all that to say, like Tennessee, let's say Tennessee is the same team as Ole Miss.
Tennessee is better than Ole Miss.
How do you know that?
Because they've actually proven.
They've proven it, but against similar shit competition, they've had similar results. So assuming that translates for Ole Miss the same way it is translated for Tennessee, then Ole Miss will be whooping Oklahoma or beating Oklahoma too. You know, Oklahoma's not that great this year, so that doesn't mean that much. But
Ole Miss needs to prove it to me. Just to give me a decent team. Sure, they look good. They always do this though.
Yeah, they have a fucking cakewalk.
No, I'm saying like under Kiffin, they've blown out these FCS and Group of 5 teams. That's just what he's been doing. Credit to him for doing that.
Okay, let me push back on you. All right. UVA was lucky to beat Wake Forest. Wake Forest outgained UVA by 100 yards, 100 plus yards. Wake Forest is a decent Power 5 school, maybe not a good Power 5 school, but
I'd say bottom,
probably bottom third.
Yes,
but I wouldn't say they're a bottom feeder. You know, and UVA blew out Coastal Carolina today. UVA, if they hadn't shit the bed in the first half and blown opportunities against Maryland, maybe they end up winning that game. UVA's 3-1, in other words, and squeaked by Wake. Let's say UVA and Wake are the same quality, even though that might be a little generous to UVA.
Well, UVA beat them head to head, but
you said it yourself.
True, but I'll be honest.
You thought Ole Miss was a better team.
Judging Wake Forest against North Carolina A&T compared to Virginia against Richmond and Virginia against Coastal,
maybe UVA is a little better than Wake. Okay, either way, UVA squeaked by Wake. Ole Miss completely dominated them by 5 touchdowns.
Okay,
Ole Miss is
I supposed to be impressed by that?
Ole Miss is probably a pretty good team. Probably at least a top 25 team.
Oh, sure. I mean, like I'm guessing that though. Just like I'm guessing Ohio State's a national championship contender.
Well, you can. All right. I think it's kind of playing dumb if you don't make an educated guess. You know, it's not a complete.
Well, an educated guess had Florida State in the top 10.
Fair. It's fair. It's true. Until Ole Miss proves something. Well, in Ole Miss's upcoming schedule, what do they got?
They get Kentucky this week.
They still won't be able to prove that.
If they lose to Kentucky, oh, you're gonna fucking
South
hear
Carolina,
it, man. You're gonna fucking hear it from me.
True,
right?
True. What did they do to Georgia Southern today?
They whooped them, but Southern sucks too.
Yeah, I mean they're not good. Then they got Kentucky at home. Nice to get 4 of your first 5 games at home. Then back-to-back roads though, but at South Carolina and at LSU.
Carolina could get them.
Carolina could.
LSU, I don't know.
Then Oklahoma and Arkansas.
I have a future in LSU.
And then, dude, this is a fucking cakewalk schedule for Ole Miss.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but or maybe. Anyway, nice win for Florida against Mississippi State. I don't know what to say about Florida. Like, okay, you won the game, good.
They're still a talented team. I could see it against Miami that when that was a game for most of the first half.
Their defense sucks, dude.
Their offense.
I watched the A&M game last week, and between A&M and Miami, the two opponents with a pulse, they got no pass rush at all.
I'm not saying Florida's good.
I actually think their defense is like legit a bad college football defense.
I'm just saying there's enough physical talent on the field that against the likes of Mississippi State, who you know is a reasonably talented team most years of the last 15 years, but they aren't playing well. I knew Florida was going to cover that. Anyway,
folks, what to tell you, the college football experience is brought to you by BetUS. Yes, bet with the best in the business. BetUS. BetUS has been around for more than 30 years. You can bet anywhere. BetUS is available in a ton of locations. It's not just what you think. It's not just only in the U.S. You can bet internationally. BetUS has just launched their all new live betting experience. You can easily deposit using cryptocurrency and get lightning fast payouts. Use our link to sign up and get 125% deposit bonus on your first 1, 2, 3 deposits. Whoa. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, SGPN's proud partner. Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, props. Rhythm AI had a great NFL week 2 with a 22.5% ROI on NFL spread bets and a 44.3 ROI on NFL moneyline bets. So get on over there. Claim your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right.
What do we got now?
Shout out to Cannabis Capper. Built his model today and did well. He loves rhythm.
Oh,
He went 4-1-1. Marshall, Ohio State. That same theory as Ole Miss.
I will say this about Ohio State: a little bit of a slow start allowed Marshall to take the lead early on him. Can't do that stuff. That's a bad habit to get into, and against better teams, that's going to get you caught. Because going down 7 against Marshall might be going down 14 against Michigan, and Michigan is not the type of team that's going to let you get off the hook, or even Penn State, who also had a slow start, but finally turned it on. I don't know. Ohio State still has something to prove to me.
Yeah, I mean they play no one. This is like Michigan last year.
Yeah,
I have no idea what the fucking. I mean, it's just annoying.
When is Ohio State?
I feel like the Big Ten commissioner.
That
should
Oregon game's got to be coming up soon.
They should penalize these teams.
No, Big Ten commissioner penalize.
Yeah,
Big Ten commissioner.
I'm Tony Patiti.
Arrange this.
Right?
They got at Michigan State, Iowa coming to the Horseshoe in 2 weeks. Could be slightly interesting.
That could be. I'll look.
And then at Oregon. So the next 3 weeks, things might get a little more interesting for Ohio State.
Patty C.
Really, the next
time
5.
for your flowers. Not only did JMU dominate, but your Cincinnati Bearcats. What is this Houston team? They almost beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma. They destroy Rice, and then they go and score 0 at Nippert. What the fuck? This is the beauty of college football, and this is why I do think this, Patty C. I think the NIL has made this sport so fucking even.
Yeah,
I think there's really so far there's only a couple teams that look like a notch above.
Now, are you saying that Cincinnati is in that?
No, I'm just stating in general, the consistency. When I look at Houston almost beating Oklahoma and stuff, it's week in, week out. It is incredibly I don't know that there's a difference between number 6 and number 60. You know what I mean? If you were to rank all these, it's a very thin line.
Which to the likes of Josh Pate and Tom, who's the guy at cover 3? Tom Fornelli.
Yeah.
They would say that waters down the playoff. They only want to see the elite. They don't want to see a team that between 6 and 60 is, undiscernible from one to the other. They don't want to see them in the playoffs.
but they want to give it to Ohio State because they're tough non-conference schedule, and Michigan the past 2 years, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I would agree that there is a lot of parity, and with NIL that brings even more, especially in those ranks. And I think it's probably even going to close the gap if you look at the Kentucky Georgia game between the top.
But that happens often, though.
That's true, but
that one happens often.
I still just think that the gap. You said it best when you said the best players in the country who have traditionally been and had gotten to the point where only a few teams were getting them, and that was never the case prior to 2010, and I think the recruiting rankings and the ability for teams to nationally recruit, whatever it was that led to that, it really put the talent in a very small area, the top talent. And so, now that NIL happens and these guys are incentivized to stay home. What is Missouri's state law again?
Yeah, Luther Burden.
They can start paying guys in high school if they commit to a college in their state like that.
Go to the vending machine and press press Sunkist.
Right.
Here's a check for $20,000. Anyway, they got rid of Sunkist, right? Is that still a thing? I haven't seen a Sunkist out there in a long time.
I think it's probably still there. I'll say this about about Cincy. Cincy was kind of dominating Pitt. What was that game? 27-7.
The Kentucky fans are coming at you, buddy.
What are they saying?
The screen's right there.
Oh, no. Patty, you got to get off Kentucky. We are awful. Okay, I mean, look. You had a bad performance against South Carolina. You had a great performance.
You had a bad day.
Dude, South Carolina should have beaten LSU. Maybe take it easy on your guys. They're doing okay so far. Let's see. Yeah, Cincinnati, if they had beaten Pitt, which they were up by 20 points for most of that game.
To the fourth
Might
quarter.
be undefeated, right?
Yeah.
And Pitt has looked pretty good. Pitt hung 73.
Pitt looks. Watch out.
Pitt hung
I told you
38 on West
Narduzzi
Virginia.
with Kerwin Bell's son, Cade Bell.
Yeah.
He'll
Pitt
fire him after the year, but Pitt's fire this year.
You threw the ball 20 times this game? Out of here.
Who called that pass on 3rd and 10? Who called that pass on 3rd and 10?
Who's a more conservative coach, Ferentz or Narduzzi?
See, I think probably Ferentz, but not by much.
But he won't
Not by
fire
much. Yeah,
a guy.
he's more loyal to his staff, I think.
But his staff, his son was the offensive coordinator for how long? I don't know. Probably wasn't that long.
Too long. Too long.
It was too long. if it was a quarter, it was
and
too
he
long.
didn't even get fired mid-season. They waited it out.
Yeah.
Ferentz used his poll. What do we got here? 4th and
yeah.
Did you get that? Damn it.
Maybe this is the ebb and flow of Narduzzi as Pitt's coach. Every 3 years they win the ACC because, or every 4 or 5 years because he gets pressured into getting an actual decent offensive coordinator. Then he fires him as soon as the season's over.
But Cincinnati, Patty C, is the player now in the Big 12, right? I mean, who knows with the Big 12,
now,
right?
I want to give you shit. I want to give you shit, Colby Dant, because you've been shitting on Scott Satterfield since the day since before he took the job. And now they're 3-1 and playing pretty good football.
I took the over this year. Shout out to Virgil. My dad always says late slate games will always bail you out. Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace to your dad. I appreciate you, Virgil.
Sage wisdom.
And rest in peace, man.
Amen.
Rest in paradise to your pops, man.
Right.
Nice win. Satterfield. No, I took the over 5.5 this year. So
Yeah.
I thought they were a bowl team. They look even better than a bowl team to me, though.
Yes. Again, late game situational football. I don't know that Satterfield is a great coach, but he is a good enough coach to limit Houston and to put up points of his own. So if he's able to do that and not have to play situational football, then that's a good coach. I'll give Satterfield his flowers here.
Yeah. I'm intrigued by
Big
the rest
12's
of the
wide open, baby.
It is wide open, man. Kansas, West Virginia, it was wide open until a thunderstorm came in, allegedly. We received text from NC Nick saying Neil Brown's got to get fired, but NC Nick didn't think about that old lightning strike. Because the game was delayed and it did look like he was going to get fired. But then didn't this happen? Like, I think this is speculation. Like, hasn't this happened before where you just turn off the lights and say the power's out? I feel like this happened in basketball.
Super
like a
Bowl.
historic, no, but there was like a historic thing where, I don't know.
Well, I know the Spurs would cut off the AC in the Alamo Dome.
That's what I'm saying.
Gotta play
I
basketball.
feel like this needs to be investigated because
Gotta play in 100-degree heat.
because Kansas looked like this was, in my opinion, it looked like Kansas was going to run away with this. They had just developed this momentum. West Virginia had it early on, and then all of a sudden, no, couple hour delay. And NC Nick texted us that and didn't forecast that because when they came back, now Kansas did score one touchdown, I think, after the delay, but then West Virginia rallied to their credit. Gut check game. Garrett Green got it done. 32-28. Patty C, your thoughts about this? I mean, 1-3 is Kansas now.
Probably one of the better 1-3 teams.
I'm on the under, so I'm looking all right.
Jalen Daniels still not playing great football. 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
He's off, man.
Yeah.
Get a bunch of NIL money. You sit your ass at home for a year.
And Kodal Nicky
All the
leaves.
scattered asses coming over to your apartment.
That said, like you mentioned, they were in the lead going into the fourth quarter. West Virginia makes a good comeback. West Virginia had done the same thing against Pitt, and then Pitt managed to score 14
but there was no delay
in 3 minutes. Yeah, but either way, West Virginia, I don't think is, what are they sitting at 2-2? I still think they're a player in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Does anyone look great in the Big 12?
Yes, and I'll get to them.
Okay.
But shout out to Dub V getting that win.
One team, right? One team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even in the preseason to me.
Yeah.
Kentucky did beat Ohio 41-6. They did cover that. Central Michigan. Shout out to the Chips. I mean, do we want to talk about Kentucky?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Ohio's lost everybody, but I mean, okay. You won. Central Michigan, Ball State was a hilarious game because Ball State got up early. It seemed like 14 or 17 to nothing or something, and then the Chips rallied. Bert Emanuel Jr. I think he got benched or injured or something. God damn it! You fucking suck. Fucking shitty team.
The Flames.
Look at this guy.
Blame on Flamers.
Unbelievable. Mike Houston sucks, dude. Fire this guy.
Look, is Central Michigan a pretty tough team to pick from week to week? I think they might be the hardest team in the country. I never know what team is going to show up.
Well, I bet on Arkansas State plus 21 and a half. I even think I got the half, and I felt great about it. And then lost 52-7.
Who was that? Oh, against Iowa State.
This is where I hit my rough patch.
I didn't think Iowa State's offense had that in them.
This is where I hit my rough patch. And GBO Farms says he's giving us $10. He says his dad always says Patty C is gay if he doesn't shotgun 2 beers right now. Rest in peace, Patty C's liver.
I will never disappoint your dad, GBO Farms.
Condolences to Patty C's liver. That thing died a long time ago. At what age did the liver officially die?
Start to go on me. I'm guessing like 20, 26, 27.
YouTube. I don't even know if I can talk the rest of these games with you because it's just going to be like, huh? You talking about? Who won?
Lou Holtz all.
What team are you talking about, Kobe?
You will notice that I do have the Lou Holtz lisps after a little while here. So let's hope that I can hold that off for a few 30 minutes. Here we go.
YouTube.com/the college experience. Patty C is shotgun. He sees Patty C shotgun
special. Here we go. This one's for you, Bob Chesney. Way to fucking go.
For Bob Costas, when you get pink eye, when you wake up with some girl's face on your
wait, no, that was Marv Albert.
No, it's Costas.
Costas.
Yeah,
those are two. Who's a bigger douche?
No way, Marv Albert.
Albert's the man.
He has an edge to him, dude. He was wearing panties on his head, dude.
Biting chicks' backs and shit.
Prostitutes too, right? Yeah, but trust me, Bob. To confuse the two, I find offensive. Bob Costas is still a virgin, dude. Are you kidding me?
This is to Marv Albert right here.
He got like legit pink eye from not wiping his ass and then grabbing his hand. He didn't get it from eating ass. You know what I mean?
Bob Costas never seen an ass, let alone ate one. Here we go. To you, Marv Albert.
YouTube.com/the college experience. God, this makes me want to vomit. 16 plays, 75 yards. Unbelievable. ECU sucks. Woo! What the hell we're talking about? Iowa State dominating. Shout out to GBO Farms. Oh, shout out to Draft Cats, guys. I know we're a college football pub, but I got a 5-teamer. The last leg is the Titans tomorrow. Cash it out or let it ride. I say let it ride. I don't know anything about the NFL though. Once they went to declaring onside kicks.
You showed me that clip of Bill Cowher today.
Yeah,
where I think it was on the McAfee show.
Yeah, shout out to Patrick Fish, who I think sent me that.
They're trying to have a moment of silence for the surprise onside kick, and
no, just the kickoff in general and illegal onside kick. Yeah, both. Yeah.
I mean, Bill Cowher obviously famously hit the surprise onside kick to, I don't know if it was open the second half against Dallas in Super Bowl 30.
Yeah.
But dude, I grew up a Steelers fan.
Deion Figures recovered that.
Look at that. Boom. That was a balls move that changed that momentum of that game. And if it wasn't for fucking Neil O'Donnell, Steelers might have pulled the upset in that Super Bowl.
Cowher never learned about the lawn chair.
Yeah, Cowher. Well, he did. He just went with
he's like,
Cordell Stewart.
But he's way better than Tom Zach dude, they started Tom Zach. They started
Charlie
Kent Graham, Bubby Brister. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, believe me, I know.
Brister had a little bit of wheels.
Pittsburgh, Iowa copies Pittsburgh in every way.
But no, Cowher made it known that the onside kick. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole because we'll talk 20 minutes about how shitty the NFL is these days. Yeah. And I pray, just like I pray that please
college
never
football,
come if college football does this.
Yeah. I pray they understand that they're the best product right now.
Yeah, which they probably don't because the TV execs are sitting there saying, "Hey, we can be more like the NFL,
dangle a little more money." Speaking of which, you mentioned here's another gripe. Here's us yelling at clouds again, but there might be some factors.
Let's go.
You said the SEC. So you said someone was you were talking to someone about that. Thinks that the SEC is following the NFL's model with like which is essentially following the NBA's model of pumping up their best teams from a referee standpoint. It does seem to be like weekly.
I was talking to someone about it. He didn't have any. It's not like he knew.
Facts
speculating.
yeah. But
speculating that the refs in the SEC I think have been the worst so far.
Yeah.
Judging by the Florida Mississippi State play today.
Georgia.
Hold on, the play today in Florida Mississippi State. The touchdown that Florida scores, and they take it back for that block
for the blindside block. And the guy's like looking at him for like 15 seconds. It's like, just because he comes from the outside doesn't make it a crackback. If they've made eye contact for like 3 seconds, it's not a crackback block. Is the wide receiver not allowed to block anyone but the corner? Like, what is the rule?
I don't even understand what we've done to it. But I mean, like I said, I'm trying to be positive here, but I do believe. I was talking to someone that was making that connection.
Georgia Kentucky interception.
The South Carolina.
That was called an interception on the field and probably shouldn't have been overturned, but they overturned it.
And
South Carolina, LSU.
Yeah, we can go on and on about this.
It just happens to benefit all their teams that have won national championships recently. So
figure
that out.
Yeah, there you go. David Stern. Let's put the tinfoil hat on. I bet on St. Francis today, plus 24, and they lost 36-0. I was feeling really good when it was 13-0 at halftime. With my 24, I was like, oh, they're gonna score.
Who did St. Francis play?
Eastern Michigan. I ate shit on this one.
Eastern Michigan's pretty good. Is Chris Creighton finally going to get a look here?
This is good for me though. Even though I lost this individual bet, I do have a large wager on over 4.5 wins, and they're 3-1. Patty C
coming out strong.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I also ate shit on Utah State. Is Temple?
Dude, and Eastern Michigan. Let's talk about
Utah State jobs.
Let's talk about Eastern Michigan for a second.
I love Eastern Michigan.
I think their win over Jacksonville State, who whooped Southern Miss today. It's not an impressive win for Jacksonville State, but I think Jacksonville State is getting better. In other words, and for Eastern Michigan to hang on and beat them was impressive to me. For them to hang, within 21 against Washington, who's 3-1 right now, kind of impressive. And for them to beat St. Francis, who did St. Francis beat again? Kent State or
Kent State?
Kent State. I mean, that's. To blank them 36-0.
Watch out for these Eagles. They're sore.
I think they could be like a 7-8 win team this year.
Oh yeah, Chris Creighton does it every year. He makes a bowl. So let's go there.
Let's go Eagles.
Temple's improving. Utah State job. I thought Nate Drilling might get the interim job. Not anymore. You lose to Temple by 16.
Yeah.
May I introduce to you Brian Harsin, or perhaps Matt Wells, or perhaps Scott Frost?
Yeah, someone's gonna want that job.
I mean, come on.
Utah State has potential.
Virginia 43, Coastal Carolina 24. Patty C, you had a hell of a day with all your teams. You got Cincinnati looking incredible. You got JMU.
Here's the thing though. I honestly took JMU because I'm not going to fade JMU. Period, right?
Yeah, it's like
on principle, right? But I wasn't sure about that game, right? And I faded UVA and I faded Cincinnati. Like Scott Satterfield,
I did too, actually.
Yeah, I did not trust him, and Houston had looked good enough coming into that. And then UVA broke my heart against Maryland, so I was like, fuck them both. But boom, they rebounded. That was nice. Yeah. Army, JMU, UVA, and who's the other one we just mentioned? Cincinnati. Nice day.
They're saying that you thought you denounced UVA from your favorite team.
I'll always love UVA. That's what it is. They're my childhood favorite. But I do think JMU has moved past them, not only as a team but as a program. I think we're a better program. We're the best. We're the best team in the state of Virginia.
Well, we'll see about that in a couple minutes here. Go.
Let's go ECU.
Nevada. I cashed on this one after losing a couple games. Shout out to Virginia though. Virginia did look good against Coastal. An impressive road performance.
Tony Elliott for a second consecutive year.
Virginia's better than Virginia Tech. Hot take. Yeah. Virginia's better than Virginia Tech. They got more playmakers, man. Yeah. They have more playmakers than Virginia Tech.
And
he got such a bad pass. He's wide open. Oh man, he had him by 5 yards.
Liberty bit off of Houston.
Houston's so bad with these uniforms. La Tech did too.
Yeah.
The
worst part is Liberty had very nice uniforms. The red, white, and blue.
Come on, man. That's got to be thrown earlier. Look how open he is. You fucking loser. This is the guy you hyped
Jake
up
Garcia.
for years.
Well, he was what, a 5-star, I believe.
Yeah, that's my point. Jeez. Okay.
I just saw some film of him that was impressed me coming out of school, but you know, that's a very short sample size that I projected him based off of. But yeah, he has not lived up to it.
I cashed on Nevada against Eastern Washington. Wolfpack. Now, here's the bad news. If Nevada wins another game, I'm cooked on my under 2.5, which is probably going to happen because they look good.
Yeah.
They play San Jose State
Smoking
next, though, and San Jose
Eastern
State
Washington.
might win the Mountain West.
Nevada has played more games than any team in the nation, right?
Yeah, what's this flag?
5 games so far for Nevada.
The hell's this flag?
2 and 3.
It's hard to host a show and watch your favorite team play. You know what I mean? I mean,
Especially
this is
when
just
money's on the line.
not
Yeah.
good here. I'm supposed to be. You're asking me questions. Don't ask me questions. Just talk about something. All right. Okay, it's on the defense. Shout out to the Wolfpack getting it done. Cash there, and then how about your boy Rich Rod? 44-7 against Southern Miss. Southern Miss is gonna fire Will Hall. Brett Favre and his blood money.
Tyler Huff, how did he do today? What was let me get that stat line.
I got it for you. He was 14 of 16, 236, a touchdown and an interception, and then Rich Rod, his quarterbacks will get a little bit of rushing yards there. Huff had 77 yards on the ground.
Dude, he got his guy. He got his guy.
Go. All right.
Well, and he got it. Look, I'm gonna get racist here.
What?
I'm gonna get racist here.
Against who?
Unless it's John Rice Plumlee, Rich Rodriguez.
Oh, you've said this before.
Offense
this
isn't optimized.
That's not racist. I hate how you say this.
Well, okay, it is
because
racist.
you come in saying it's racist, and it's like racist is there's got to be
There's
like
hatred.
hate behind
Okay.
it. You're just stating the facts. This is like
Okay, but it's ignorant because it's not really that ignorant because there aren't that many quarterbacks, white quarterbacks that can run like a 4-3.
no, white guys can't run.
Yeah, and
This is fuck.
I
They
think-
made a movie about white man can't jump. Was that racist? I guess depending on who you, it's subjective. Anything could be racist
But
these days.
factually speaking, white men aren't that fast comparatively, and you're not going to get a lot of 4-3 white quarterbacks. But that said, Tyler Huff is doing pretty damn well. But if
See,
Rich
none
Rodriguez,
of that was racist. That's why I hate your intro.
well, it's a little.
It's not racist. It's just stating the obvious.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Like it's really not even close to being racist.
Okay. Yeah. They'll be better at white, black, green, blue if they have a quarterback with a 4-3, which Rich Rodriguez has gotten several times,
What
or
just
at least
happened?
a 4-4.
What the hell just happened? Did ECU just fumble? What just happened?
That said, Huff is an
I
athlete.
can't do this show. I can't do this show right now.
Simmer down over here.
All right, you're sitting there saying you're racist when there's no other. There's nothing. You're not saying you're racist. You're saying the comment is racist, but it's not. You're just stating the facts. All right.
Okay.
It's obvious.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying is they have a higher ceiling than they would if they had a somewhat athletic quarterback. And I think Huff is significantly athletic, and he's an efficient quarterback too, and he's playing well in that system.
Butterbean or George Foreman? Who would you take?
I would take George Foreman.
See,
There you
done.
go.
The argument's done.
It's not
all right?
racist. Okay. All I'm saying though is Tyler Huff it doesn't appear he has the speed that Rich Rodriguez play the clip. That Rich Rodriguez needs from his quarterback to make that offense fucking perfect.
I don't get the brain bag.
They're not-
Cold, but they're counting down.
They're not championship level with Huff.
This is like when I talked about the Civil War, the Oregon State rivalry last week, and we got multiple comments from the same person though about how we're racist because we said Oregon versus Oregon State, the Civil War. They got rid of that name. You're racist because you say the name that they used for
And guess what?
150 years.
You're pro guns because you call it the Red River Shootout, and
Yeah,
all right.
that's what I'm saying. That's essentially what you are. You're that guy leaving the comment. Right? Let's say something racist here. Rich Rodriguez with the black quarterback who's fast as fuck is way better than a slow ass white quarterback. That's not racist. That's just watching and saying, hey, one guy is way faster than the other guy, and it works better in this offense. Good God. Anyway. Can't wait to see our racist comments we get, or 1 stars for this week. All right. Miami, Ohio 3, Notre Dame 28.
Yeah.
Patty C, the Irish. First off, Miami, Ohio covered.
Yeah, took Notre Dame a while to pull away too, but Riley Leonard. Speaking of white quarterbacks that can run, 143 rushing yards on 12 attempts, 2 touchdowns.
So now, Rich Rod, you missed it. Andy's from Alabama. You really missed this opportunity.
Should have gotten Riley Leonard.
You could have ruined race. You could have.
Could have ended racism.
Yeah.
Right there.
You could have ended racism like the NFL does. All right. It's just incredible what the NFL does to end racism. You know, Colin Kaepernick hasn't played one snap in a decade, but don't worry, they ended racism with the end zones.
Yeah, they
don't
wrote it in the end
Don't
zone.
worry. They get old Roger Goodell. All he had to do was he was asleep one night, and his wife. Well, he was sitting in bed. His wife was sleeping, and he was just trying to think, how could I end racism? And he goes, I fucking got it. We're gonna put end racism in the end zone and solve the whole world's fucking problems. Oh, what a guy! What a guy! Meanwhile, Jerry Jones is the most powerful owner, and he's got a really clean history. Let me tell you. All right, no, he was not protesting integration. No, he was not. But look, put end racism in the end zone is great. Anyway, what a world we live in. What a world. Notre Dame though, Riley Leonard, he is fast, and Notre Dame, he had like a 60-yard rush that he fumbled it with. So ECU, how did ECU not get the ball here? They fumbled. Patty C, I hate Mike Houston. We went from Scotty Montgomery, which was a Duke mole, and I'm convinced that you sent in a JMU mole.
You guys aren't as good as I thought you would have been by now under Houston.
No, we never look crisp. We always look sloppy.
And I think we
always look sloppy.
You cut me off before we finished talking about this, but over the last 4 seasons, 2021, 2022, 23, and now this year, 2024, ECU's been close to the bottom twice in the bottom 3 in the country in extra point percentage. If like that's field goals. Okay, maybe you're attempting too long of a field goal.
You know, we do this podcast. I say it every week.
And now I finally get it.
And you haven't even looked up the block punt stats.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I'm sure there's other elements of it, but you're right. The field goal stats, they're among the worst most year. But the extra point stats, the percentages, everyone's running the same exact play from the same exact space, and yet ECU is routinely among the worst in the nation at kicking extra points. Something's wrong there. And I think we weren't able to. You wanted to see the stats over that 4-year stretch. I was only able to do 1 year at a time, but almost certainly over a 4-year stretch, they're the worst team in the country at kicking extra points.
Dude, we have lost honestly, I'd say 9 to 10 games.
Just on kicking. Yeah, it is weird. I never noticed it at JMU, but it's a definite problem.
Patty C, is Notre Dame going to make the playoffs?
I don't think so. I think Army's going to beat them. I think Army's going to beat them.
They play Louisville next week. What about that?
Notre Dame does play Louisville. Notre Dame, most of Notre Dame's schedule is cakewalk, but they'll probably lose. Where is that game being played? Is that in South Bend?
It is in South Bend.
It's going to be a good game.
But
well, here's the thing, though. Notre Dame, Purdue's not good, but depending on which Notre Dame team shows up, I think Marcus Freeman's got a serious, motivational problem. I think that's probably a symptom of being a young coach and not knowing how to handle success and failure, and moderate between those two. And he gets his team up and then he lets his team down, when the game is not as important, or doesn't seem as hard. So he's got to figure that part out, but I think they'll probably be up for Louisville. And the fact that it's in South Bend, it'll probably be a really good game because Louisville is pretty good, but Notre Dame, when they're playing their best football, is pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah. They keep their playoff chances alive, and yeah. What do we? There's game. Hey, he dropped it.
Looser.
See, that's a white guy dropping it. I guarantee if he was black, that was a touchdown.
Yeah, he wouldn't have had to dive.
All right. I don't know if you're watching the ECU Liberty game. He wouldn't have had to dive. That's good.
He would have walked.
That's accurate. Though, that's fucking accurate. All right. That is very accurate. I mean, come on. No one is there. Look at this. Look at this right now. Oh my God. And you wonder why I'm on a microphone. That was me, but it was like little league.
He's meeting his expiration date now. We met ours a long time ago.
Oh man, what a world. Stop this bastard. All right.
Flee. All right, here we go.
What are they gonna do here? They're gonna go for this.
Can we not
They're gonna try to
announce
end
the
it.
actual game?
Well, dude, this is what happens. These lightning delays. I didn't anticipate me having to recap while a game that was supposed to be played 7 hours
all right.
ago.
Well, be a professional. And let's go.
No, me and professional never happened. All right. I love how you said be a professional. You've shotgun 2 beers on this episode, you fucking jackass.
That's my profession. Getting drunk and talking college football. Well, we have to recap. That's what we're doing here. We're not watching a game live. This isn't Mystery Science Theater. That's the second time, by the way, in the last month I mentioned that show.
On this show or in general?
No, on this show. My inner nerd is coming out here. We should have that. We should just have us watching games and fucking commenting.
We're trying to do that. We just there's this thing called copywriting, and I get sued all the time. It's fantastic.
Little details.
USC 24, Michigan 27. We need to talk about this one. First off, shout out to Michigan winning a game with 32 yards passing. Army and Navy have now formed in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I love it. But at the same time, I just got to call out that I'm disappointed with our announcers, Patty C. I'm really I'm disappointed with the refs in college football this year. I think it's been the worst year that I can ever recall. But I'm really disappointed with the announcers because I'm going to play a clip. I'm going to mute it so I don't get sued, hopefully. And I want you to look at the tight end, number 83, on the left side of the screen, right where the run is. So Michigan's at a 4th down and 1. 4th down and 1. From the 1 yard line, if they score, they win the game. If they don't score, USC wins the game. Pretty much how it goes, right?
Yeah.
I thought this call was so bad, and I thought the fact that the announcers and I can't play
the audio
from the announcers, but they really lean into like what a they powerful play, and they just breeze over the biggest part of this to me was a gigantic hold by number 83. Look at this right here. So right now I'm going to freeze it. Hang on. 83 is the far left tight end here.
Is he the H-back or is the end of the line of scrimmage?
I think. Hang on. He doesn't come in motion, right? No.
So he's essentially tight end.
Yes. And they're going to run the ball right here. Yeah. So yeah, look at this. 83.
You can't see it great from that angle.
No, but this is really bad. Right?
Keep
that
it
angle.
rolling.
It's like, okay. But then you're going to see it on the replay here. And to me, it's the third replay where, well, I mean, I noticed it right when it happened, when the you were watching it with me.
Yeah.
I said, oh, they got it. That's a hold on the tight end there.
Yeah.
But
wasn't called, obviously.
Yeah. Look at it right. Okay. I guess they're doing all this talking. They're saying, oh, what a run. They went to what's his name?
Yeah.
Look at, okay. 83 far left there. Watch, look at that. He grabs his whole, and this is the third view, is the one which is so fucking bad. This is just a really, really bad holding penalty. And it sucks because if you're an SC fan, like you got to think if this is a 4th and 11, then there's with 32 yards passing, the game is cooked.
Yeah.
Right. Look at it right here. Look at it right here. And I, you know me, I hate USC. I grew, I've always hated USC, but I'm saying, look at this right here. Look at that. Look at that. Hold on.
He got his arm around the back of his neck.
What the hell are you supposed to do? Look at that. It doesn't get more obvious of like, have they sent this to, they have to send this to the Big Ten refs.
Yeah.
Because
well, you know what? Assuming the Big Ten refs obviously were the ones refereeing the game since it's 2 Big Ten teams.
Just look at that.
It strikes me. Yeah, that's terrible.
Exactly where he runs.
It strikes me as similar to the treatment that A&M seemed to get for the first 8-10 years up until now, since they've joined the SEC, where they're treated like the redheaded stepchild. They want to make life a little hard on the new teams so they don't come in the door and just start whooping the ass of the blue bloods of the established conference.
How do you miss that call?
It's terrible.
How do you miss that call?
But yes, it would be a bad look if, the Pac-12, which has supposedly been weaker than the Big Ten for forever, supposedly, comes in and just starts beating the best of the Big Ten, beats the defending national championship team in their home stadium in their first Big Ten game. So yeah, it makes sense that they got a little home cook in there, and I agree with you. I think that's a terrible call.
How do you miss that call, Patty
Yeah.
C?
Yeah, it's a bad.
How do you miss that call?
Pretty critical fucking call, right at the point of like the play,
right where the seam is.
Right.
Why do you think he has that
Right
seam? Why do you think he has that seam?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, interesting. You completely ripped a guy in one direction, and you just ignore that. And my problem with these announcers is maybe they're not qualified. I don't know. I tend to think they've probably called a lot of football games, so I don't want to sit there and say they don't know football. But I'm led to believe that they either have been told that they not to be critical of the referees, which is ridiculous because you'd want them to be honest.
Well,
Why can't you just be honest and call the game? That's a fucking holding penalty. It should be a holding penalty.
Rarely hear them lambast the referees completely. I feel like they pull back on the referees pretty frequently, and yeah, maybe especially if it's a Fox broadcast, they might be in on the in on the fix a little bit.
Dude, but why that's so important is because, like, okay, if that was Ohio State or something, or if that was whoever, Alabama, or okay, you penalize them 10 yards, they might get that. Michigan threw 32 yards. That was not going to be. That's the game. The game is over if you call that play correctly.
Yeah, yeah. If you throw the flag, yeah. I'll say this. I mean, when you're watching a Notre Dame game, it's almost like they're saying we. The announcers, the sideline reporters. It is so. The NBC production is so Notre Dame centric and in favor of Notre Dame that there's no doubt that like you're watching kind of a biased broadcast.
This is what I mean, though, dude. We're sitting here, 2nd and 7, ECU.
What do we got?
Offsides defense. This is the type of shit Mike Houston teams do, and this is why I think he should be fired, whether we make a bowl game or not. I want him out. Undisciplined, always undisciplined, never crisp. Never crisp.
7, what do we got here? That was terrible. Fucking terrible. He got the offensive lineman to jump. ACC network, when JMU was beating North Carolina and about to hang 70, ACC network flipped it to the Virginia Tech Rutgers game. Found that convenient. And then also
they did score 70,
when they're talking about the halftime report, Eddie Royal and who's the old Florida State quarterback?
EJ Manuel
are saying, "Oh, it's disgusting to watch." It's kind of taking a shit on JMU. Of course, these networks that are basically they're tied at the hip to having a winning product from their programs. They're going to root for their best teams. They want their teams to win. So I think that if you're seeing the announcers not say it doesn't surprise me that, Michigan got the home cooking there.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate because I don't think I can show a better example of a hold over the we just watched like 5,000 football games. And I think that's one of the worst hold I saw the entire day.
Yeah.
Anyway, Michigan gets this win, Patty C. That's a huge win for them. Could they still, do you think they will be exposed, or do you think they will be a team that can?
I think Indiana's got a legit chance to beat them. Looking at Michigan's upcoming schedule, let me get this pulled. This thing's clicking around. We got Minnesota at home. That should be a win, probably, right?
Probably, I would say.
A road trip to Washington. That's game.
Yeah, they suck.
Liberty gets it done
Fire
again.
'em.
App State is
this is 2 straight weeks of a 17-0 lead and a loss.
Liberty
that is pathetic.
Is probably gonna,
you go up 3 scores.
Yeah.
2 straight weeks, and you fucking lose outright. He sucks, dude. He sucks as a head coach.
17 points. Blown.
He should be fired, and it should have been 20, but we missed a 20-yard field goal. Right?
True.
He sucks. He's a horrible fucking coach.
Minnesota at Washington, bye week at Illinois, then hosting Michigan. It's conceivable that Michigan wins all of those games, and so then hosting Oregon.
I don't think they're going to beat it. Like some of those ones, like Illinois, can get
road trip to Illinois. I mean, I think that's a game though. It's conceivable.
Yeah, it's possible
that Michigan's sitting there at like what? I mean, Michigan could be 10-1 against Ohio State. I think hosting Oregon, is Oregon that different of a team than USC?
They're more physical. Well, I don't know. USC's done a good job adding physicality.
I think Oregon's a slightly better team than USC. So
I don't know about better. They're more physical.
Yeah.
I think
from
USC,
a weapons I mean, they certainly have a way better quarterback when he's healthy, obviously. And,
when he's healthy is a asterisk next to it because
we'll see if he is by that point in the season. But I would say that that's probably a loss against Oregon, even at home for Michigan. And then at Ohio State is probably one too. But a 9-3 season and even a 10-2 season seems entirely possible.
USC hosts Wisconsin next week. That should be an easy win. Wisconsin's terrible.
They should win that.
Yeah. All right. UTSA covered the 35.5 against Houston Christian. I was on that one. Didn't bet it, but yeah. You feel bad for the ECU backers, huh? I'm one of them. Was that fumble? I didn't see it. Was that fumble actually down, or was that a bad call? Because the ECU was at like the Liberty 20. It was kind of like the biggest play of the game.
What is ECU's record right now?
2-2. They suck.
This will put them at 2-2.
Yeah, and they could easily be 4-0.
Yeah. Liberty's a tough team though.
Yeah. No, dude, ECU was a better team today. You can't go up 17 points and then miss 20-yard field goals and shit the bed like that.
All right, what else we got?
Arkansas, Auburn. Let's talk about this because Razorbacks. Yeah, I did touch this one. 24-14 against the Auburn Tigers. Patty C. Hugh Strip Club freeze. This is called karma for them firing Brian Harsin in the way they were doing this. The scumbags down there creating stories that he's hooking up with some assistant trying to ruin his fucking marriage.
A respectable man, like trying to conduct his life.
What a dick! Like what?
Let's trump up some adultery charges on this guy.
Patty C. Don't look now, but my guy Road Rash Face, aka Bobby Petrino, and Sam Pulled Pork Pittman, if they didn't remember, they got hosed at some bad refereeing in that was Oklahoma State. They got the bad refereeing. But my point is, they almost won that game against Oklahoma State. So they were close to being undefeated here. Are the Razorbacks a team to watch out for at 3-1? They were the recipient.
They were the beneficiary of bad refereeing in that Auburn
or the Oklahoma State game. Correct. Patty C, is there any chance that they knock off A&M next week?
Sure.
At that filthy game at Jerry's World.
Absolutely. I think that'll be a great game. I mean, minus the venue. Yes, it'll be it's typically competitive self. Arkansas, Taylor Green, not super impressive from a passing standpoint. 12 of 27. 2 interceptions, but
80 yards on the ground.
Yeah,
80 yards on the ground.
And like we said, getting it done when it needs to be, extending drives, getting first downs. So that's what they should have, that stat. They should have first downs as an individual stat.
What are you talking?
Don't you think first downs gained?
Oh,
that should be an individual stat.
Yeah, why not? They give us every other thing.
Fucking stat. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, Arkansas was the better team. They proved it. It was a good game, like we thought it would be. To go on the road and beat Auburn, very impressive. Pulled Pork Pittman seems like his job's in a good place right now.
I like Pulled Pork Pittman, so
you gotta
I'm rooting for him.
If you don't like Pulled Pork Pittman, you're not an American.
Kent State 0, Penn State 56. Penn State covered for me, by the way. I was on Sports Grid betting this.
7-0 after 1.
I couldn't believe they asked me this question. They're like, what are you doing in this Kent State Penn State game? It's like, really? Lay it, I guess.
What was the number? What was the
449.
So they barely hit it.
Hey, a cover is a cover is That's a cover.
56-0 final there.
Yeah, getting it done though. Shout out to them. And then Patty C. Just seeing if there's any way we can kick we can't kick field goals, so there's no way. Youngstown State 17, Pitt 73. Woo! I know it's just Youngstown State, But Pitt, the Panthers,
Eli
getting it
Holstein looking pretty good. 16 to 24, 3 touchdowns. Not bad.
Yeah. And then what do we got after this? We got UCLA 17, LSU 34. This was surprising to me. I lost money on this. I had LSU minus 21, and UCLA gave them a game.
The
Way
game
more.
was
Dude,
tied at
Brian
half.
Kelly sucks, dude. I'm really of the belief he sucks.
Yeah.
Because I have a future on LSU. I just every time I watch them, I go, this team's not that good.
Dude, this is the same
They're not
team
that
like
good,
we
dude.
mentioned earlier that Indiana throttled last week.
And UCLA, yeah,
UCLA
yeah.
and LSU sitting there at home tied against them in supposedly the hardest place to play in the country, Death Valley. Yeah, LSU's not that good.
They play South Alabama and Fluff Bothwell next week. Watch out for Fluff Bothwell.
Dude, South Alabama. I mean, if we want to talk about the Thursday and Friday games.
Oh yeah, they delivered. Well, not Thursday. Friday games delivered.
Friday,
yeah. LSU wins by 17. They scored 10 points late. This, like I said, this was like a 7-point game for a lot of the game.
Yeah, 7-point game going into the fourth quarter.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of the game. Not impressive by any means. Folks, stay put. All right. If you're on YouTube, just stay put. I'm just going to close the A side of this and jump over to the B side on the college football experience. Give Patty C a follow on Twitter at Patty C831. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. College football experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. All right. We are back on the college football experience B side here. Shout out to Ryan Hasty. He says Friday was the best. Right. And also, how about shout out to Mike, our fucking Long Island Sharks got the cover again today. Getting it done. YouTube.com/the college experience, the home of Shark football and basketball. All right. East Carolina, 45 seconds left. They're done. They're done. They can't even kick it. If they got a first down right now, you'd say, hey, kick the field goal really quick. See if we can get an onside kick. But interception. Okay. Classic. There we go. Perfect. Just the way we drew it up. And yeah. Shout out to the Long Island Sharks for getting it done. I just want to talk about also, if we're going to bring up FCS games, hope you cashed in on my Lehigh Mountain Hawks game today. Getting it done against Princeton on the money line. Today was a really good day for money lines. And I'll get to another one here when Patty C comes back. But ECU just threw a pick. Just loaded up. Another pick. Perfect. Patty C.
What do we got?
I think we're a respectable podcast. Might not be professional, but I think we're a respectable podcast.
We do our best.
I've been saying this since Tuesday.
What's that? That
Buffalo was going to cover, and I am going to take them to win on the money line.
Nice call.
At +4. What was it? 425, 450. Boom.
Hell of a call.
Thomas Hammock, 2 weeks off. I saw him on fucking Oprah or something. I have no idea. He was on like Good Morning America. Look, when you're on, he was on every day, and credit to him. I mean, huge win. But I saw him on.
Probably great for recruiting and marketing.
I saw him on Jim Rome. I saw him on the Good Morning America. I saw him on Rich Eisen. I saw him on so many damn shows that I was like, he ain't focusing on this week.
They're taking it out.
He ain't focusing. Pete Lembo's over there licking his chops saying, okay, you're ranked. Here's a top 25 win for these Buffalo Bulls. Let's go. Getting it done right there. Yes.
By the way, with Liberty hanging the L on ECU, that App State next week was one of the only remaining teams that we projected being capable.
I have a projection that they're going to lose.
That App State will lose, or
I don't know about that, but I have them losing to Sam Houston State.
Liberty will beat, or Sam Houston will beat Liberty.
They have to play at Sam Houston.
Oh, please. Someone's got to do it because I don't want to see this Liberty team in the playoffs.
They don't deserve it.
No.
They're not that good.
No.
ECU sucks. Mike Houston sucks, and we're still going to win the AAC. So, Patty C, I just want more flowers for my Northern Illinois. They ranked 23rd in the nation, 14-point favorites. I said Buffalo was going to beat them. They did. I just feel like, these are free picks. as Clark mentions in the chat.
Yeah, I mean,
I gave you Navy on the money line. I gave you Buffalo on the money line. Oh,
and let's be honest, like, I wouldn't say I know exactly super well what NIU's forte is, but I can tell you if they dominated the trenches against the Notre Dame team that seems to be very reliant on the run,
let's talk about that. What does that do for Notre Dame's season?
Yeah, that probably really hurts Notre Dame's chances. I mean, it's a black eye. If NIU was a 10 or 11, if NIU is this year's Toledo of the MAC, then that's a lot more forgivable of a loss for Notre Dame. But that's a bad loss now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Every week it's going to be hilarious when they go 6-6. It's going to be a bad loss.
Yeah, NIU's not scratching the top 5 again after this loss, or the top 25 rather. But yeah, I mean, I guess NIU. Well, they kind of shut down Notre Dame in the trenches on both sides of the ball. But you're right. I think it was probably easy pick. I think they were not focused.
Central Connecticut State covered for me. They almost won outright. The real Blue Devils, I bet them plus 20 or what 20 and a half. I forget my exact number, but they lose by 4, Patty C. And this was best case scenario. For a second, they were looking so good that I was like, shit, my over on UMass is cooked. But UMass gets their first win of the season.
1-3. That number is what, 1.5 for UMass?
2.5. 2.5. Or no, it might have been flat 2. I don't know. I think it was 2.5.
Didn't you take someone that had a 1.5 and you took him on the over?
Kansas.
And
they hit that shit.
No, this year. Year.
Maybe it was UMass. I don't know. I got to check.
You got Vandy right on the over. They're looking fine.
That's looking really good. Yeah. Right. Shout out to UMass getting that first dub of the season. Patty C, unfortunately for the people that bet Georgia Tech plus 11.5, they lost by 12. Louisville 31, Georgia Tech 19. You continue to hate on my cards. All right.
I like them. I would say Louisville has one of the best helmet or logos in the whole entirety of college football at this point. Would you agree?
Yes.
The little stiff arm bird.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's fire. Yeah. I think they just wore it for today though. But shout out to Louisville. I actually took Georgia Tech plus the points. I didn't bet it, but I'm saying like
they need to put that on their black helmet, and that should be their permanent helmet logo. Beautiful. It's a lot better than that fucking script little L. Whatever that is, like that.
I like them bouncing around though.
Yeah, a little fun.
Then you have Texas Tech, Arizona State. I was on the Red Raiders against Arizona State, and let me tell you that continues to help Washington State, whose win over Texas Tech. It's their lone blemish. Yeah. No, I didn't bet the Arizona State Texas Tech game, but I did bet on Virginia Tech, and let me tell you, they suck ass.
Yeah,
I am why did I do this? Yeah. Why did I do this? Why did I do this, Patty C?
It's so predictable. Why do they suck against decent competition?
They don't have any talent. It's the same. Like, this is my fault, but here's my logic on this handicap, and I mentioned this on Tuesday if you listen to it, so I apologize if I sound repetitive, but. They had 20 starters back on a team last year. Rutgers averaged 7.4 yards a rush. And I thought, man, they're gonna get after him in practice.
In Lane.
Yeah. And I was like, they're at Lane Stadium. And I'll be honest, this score was way worse. Like, okay, Virginia Tech dressed it up some. Rutgers fumbled at the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
They missed 2 field goals. Rutgers could.
I want to say there were 2 red zone.
They were far better than Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Watching this game, I was just sitting there like, Virginia Tech sucks, and I don't think they're going to fire Brent Pry, but I think.
And the Greek Rifle is not a good quarterback for Rutgers, and yet they were still always in a position. Virginia Tech looks like a
dude. Let's talk about them for a second.
Untalented and poorly coached football.
They're at Miami next week. They're 2-2.
They'll lose by 18.
They're at Stanford the next week.
They'll probably lose that.
They're home to Boston College the next week.
They'll win one of those 3.
Okay, then they're home to Georgia Tech.
Loss.
At Syracuse.
They'll win one of those 2. So 2 and 3.
Home to Clemson.
Loss.
At Duke, who's undefeated. They could be Duke though.
And then is UVA the last? After that, they'll win one of those two. They probably have 3 wins left in them for the entire year.
So 5 and 7.
5 and 7.
Will that get him fired? I still don't know because he made a bowl and had a winning record last season.
It should get him fired. If you're Virginia Tech, you can't be happy with one bowling season in 3 years from your new coach.
I just
especially
watched them.
since Justin Fuente had them winning 9 or 10 games in one of his first few years.
You know what it is though, man? I watched them and they just have nobodies. Like we were talking about this today. It was like you even watching Virginia. Like I turn on Virginia and Tony Elliott, and not only this week in general. When I turn on Virginia over the past 2 years, they have some athletes that can make plays, make people miss, and you're just saying, "Woo!" Who's
usually
that?
Speed on the edges. That Malachi Fields is a huge possession receiver.
But Virginia Tech hasn't had that in those like the whole Pry era. When I watched them, I go, "Man, they got just a bunch of average players on their team, man."
Yeah, that tight end Neville for that they got from Harvard for UVA is a playmaker. But yeah, you're right. Virginia Tech, for whatever reason, can't find these playmakers that they used to grow on trees.
Yeah.
You know, well, they used to dominate the 757 recruiting. What's
they want to know? How do you see? Who do you want to see take the reins?
It's obvious. I've been saying this for 15 years.
Still?
Yes. Yes. It will work, and the reason why it will also work is because the talent pool that Virginia Tech traditionally pulls from, which is the 757, is custom made for Rich Rodriguez and for Bud Foster. And we saw what Bud
Foster's retired. We've had him on the show.
Out of retirement. He helps out with Brent Pry, but he's obviously not on the sidelines, which he needs to be. But man, it's just like, dude, you have
okay, but realistically, they're not going to do that. What would realistically?
It doesn't fucking matter for Virginia Tech. Other than that, whatever you're gonna.
Shane Beamer, you said, right?
Sure, Shane Beamer. Whatever. He'll be able to recruit him up. His coaching chops might get him to like.
The chat's saying Dan Mullen.
8, 9, 10 wins. Virginia Tech is a limited program unless they take advantage of what they are, you know. And Virginia Tech is a fucking school that is willing to go get speed out of the 757, you know, and maybe ignore some character issues. You know, it's not that they've had traditional character issues, but like Jimmy Williams, for instance, they'll get some badass dudes. In other words, that other schools won't go get. And when Virginia Tech does that and they put those dudes in the right position, then Virginia Tech becomes a fucking badass team. But if they try and do it any other way, if they just try and play like traditional football, you're out in the country. You're not going to be able to do it. You know?
Yeah. Let me ask you something. If you pull up Rutgers' schedule. Or let me just rattle off through. Rutgers is
Virginia Tech is like Mississippi State, but imagine if Mississippi State had like Miami a couple hours away that they could put a fence around and bring to.
Mississippi's got some talent, and they have New Orleans not far away.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if that's kind of like LSU, but LSU is like LSU is where Baton Rouge. That's not that. That's like 45 minutes from New Orleans.
I've done that drive.
Yeah, imagine if LSU was like in. You know, at the northern part of Louisiana, that's where Virginia Tech is. But they would have the.
But they have NIL money. We talk about it. If Missouri can build a winner, why the fuck can't Virginia Tech?
It's true. I don't think Pry's that good of a coach, but I do think there is a ceiling on that program. You know.
Yeah. Well, Patty C. Rutgers, the ceiling. You know, we mentioned on this podcast that they were an interesting play to get to the Big Ten championship as a long shot. I know it sounds ridiculous, but here they are, Patty C, undefeated. They're hosting Washington this Friday. I think Rutgers is better than Washington right now.
They're hosting Washington.
Yeah.
They might be better than Washington.
Then they're at Nebraska on October 5th.
Yeah.
50-50 game to me. Then they're home to Wisconsin, win. Home to UCLA, win. At USC, loss. But then you look at the rest of the schedule, home to Minnesota.
What is Rutgers' record right now?
Undefeated. They're undefeated.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
Wow. And they are on track.
Dude, their schedule's incredible because they don't play Penn State. They don't play Michigan. They don't play Oregon. They don't play Ohio State. If they can continue to win 50-50 games like I had today as a 50-50 game when I did the season preview, then this team really could have a special season. Hey, Shout out to the Scarlet Knights. I ate shit on this bet.
I want to say this too. I don't mean character issue guys at Virginia Tech. I mean dudes that are fucking like they're not going out and getting Lawrence Phillips, but they're getting dudes that like play like Corey Moore. You know, Corey Moore is a fucking head case, but I think he's a good dude.
He was a beast.
Yeah, I think he's actually a good human being, but he is a lot to deal with. And Bud Foster and whoever they had at Virginia Tech was able to channel that in a good direction, and it wreaked havoc on the other team.
Yeah. What about Jamie Chadwell at Virginia Tech?
I don't think it's a great fit. I think wherever he goes, he'll elevate the program, and he plays above the talent that he has at his disposal. And the fact that Virginia Tech has pretty good talent means that they would do pretty well with him. But still, I don't think he's a perfect fit for Virginia Tech.
Well, I lost a bunch of money on the Hokies, but don't worry, I made it up with the Duke Blue Devils. My handicap of Middle Tennessee being the worst team in the FBS, or one of the worst teams, one of the bottom 5. I am 4 for 4 now betting against Middle Tennessee, and I want the folks to appreciate how talented Pick Dundee is at knowing the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, you've been fading them hard.
45-17. When will Vegas adjust? Rick Stockstill's not there anymore. They play at Memphis next week. I will take Memphis minus the points. We'll see what that number is. But jump in on that. And this is where I started to get really fucking hot, Patty C.
What do you got?
I hit the Duke game. And then, I tried to tell the Big 12 fans out there that Utah is by far the best team in this fucking conference. They're better on the line of scrimmage than every single team in the Big 12. And I feel very comfortable with that statement even before today's game.
I mean,
they also
without Cam Rising and still doing what they did.
Yes, and I bet them thinking we had Cam Rising, but even with not, you saw this last year. Kyle Whittingham, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He's the best coach in the country. He's been the best coach in the country for years. He's got a winning record against Saban, a winning record against Harbaugh. There is a reason why. Last season's game at USC is, I thought, one of the best coach games of my fucking life. He had Bryson Barnes, who was their 5th string fucking quarterback, coming into the season before the injuries, right? And he knew that he couldn't throw. So he basically did what Alex Orgy did today and did like 40 QB powers and beat USC with a great defensive game plan. Dude, what am I missing here? And this score, Oklahoma State scored late to dress this thing up. That Utah just brought him down into the muck.
Bernard 100 is that 82 rushing yards for Utah.
That's what I'm saying. They don't realize that they're way better on the line of scrimmage than all these motherfuckers in the Big 12. I'm serious. Like there's no one in the Big 12 even close to the line play.
Michael Bernard 125 rushes, 182 yards, 7.3 yards per rush. Ollie Gordon, meanwhile, held to 42 yards. I don't know what's going on with him, but certainly playing tough defenses, especially like you said, one of the toughest in the trenches in the country, Utah. That will limit you. Isaac Wilson, by the way, you pointed out, looks exactly like his brother Zach Wilson.
It's his brother, if you didn't know. Yes.
Trader for
very disgusting.
Yeah, your brother's a BYU.
Very disgusting.
Grad. You go to
there.
Utah. Yeah. Questionable.
Mike Gundy's a good coach. I don't want to, but Kyle Whittingham's a better coach. And Patty C, this was yet again a dominating performance to me. They got down 3-0 and they never looked back. After that, they scored, I think, 19 unanswered to go up 22-3, or was it 19-3? I don't remember.
Yeah, was it 16 points in the 4th for Oklahoma State?
They were up 22-3. That's what I'm saying. This score is dressed up by OK State late. Don't get it twisted. Utah fucked them up on the line of scrimmage. Yes, we watched this with a close eye. They fucked them up on the line of scrimmage, and did what Utah does. And
I mean, pretty darn impressive. And I think it is an important game for them to win without Cam Rising, because they realize they can win big games without him. But then you throw him back in the equation, assuming he gets healthy at some point. Then you're right. Then they are a great looking football team, and maybe a team that can have a little bit of a playoff run.
One of the things I want to hammer here is, and I'm not saying my point is when I watch Utah for the most part, or someone like Whittingham, there's a bunch of teams, and I know okay, Colby, you're talking about East Carolina, but I see a coach when you watch Utah, they're crisp, they're prepared, they're always great on special teams. I know that like okay that's the guy that's been there 25 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying you can find this in the group of 5 too, where there's coaches that just look prepared.
Yeah.
When I watch Mike Houston, they're never fucking prepared.
Yeah.
They're always unorganized. They're always offsides. They're always blunt, penalties, blunders. Just like, and I can't hammer that. I can't hammer that home enough because like it's so crazy when you just watch a couple other teams. You're just like, God, why can't we have that? Why can't we have
aspect
that?
of the game. Yeah. But again, it was weird because even compared to Curt Cignetti, like at JMU, Mike Houston was to me a more complete coach. In all phases of the game, he looked prepared. That's why he was able to get over the hump.
I wonder who his assistants were though. Maybe that plays a role.
Could be. But he was able to beat North Dakota State in their prime, and Curt Cignetti just fell short of that. So I thought, hey, Houston was the better coach. I don't know if that's. I can't say that's the case at this point.
Yeah, I agree, folks. Want to tell you that I was hot. I hit. Hold on. I hit Middle Tennessee. I'm sorry. I hit Duke against Middle Tennessee. I hit Oklahoma State. I'm going to get to a couple other fire plays. I want to tell you though that the college football experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Fantasy Pickup is always adding to their awesome menu. They now have first projections for touchdowns. There are a ton of ways to win with the NFL, college football, CFL, MLB, MMA, and more. Their lobby is jam-packed with profit boosts and no sweat entries. You can now use specials and boost on all flex entries as well. So sign up, and when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. All right, Patty C.
What do we got? We got to go rapid fire here.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm a fucking genius, but this money line should have hit here. And I know my guy Daniel. Wait, I'm drawing a blank. Damani. I'm sorry, Damani. Vanderbilt grad. All right. Patty C. I did take Vanderbilt, and I bet the hell out of that thing. But I also sprinkled the money line. I believe it was plus 825, if memory serves me correct. It should have hit.
Oh man,
this kicker killing me, man.
What happened? Remind me what happened.
He missed a kick in regulation, but he also in overtime, they get down to the 10-yard line and they miss or I don't know if it was the 10-yard line, like after a sack or whatever. It was like it was still a chip shot, and he missed the field goal. Missouri should not be top 10. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
People, I couldn't believe how many publications I listened to. It was like, oh, what a big time win Missouri against Boston College. They look great. I was like, did they? I watched that fucking same game.
I will say this, give Missouri a little bit of credit for when a team, especially in the overtime period, scores real quick. That's usually an indicator that they are the superior team. If you have to battle for 8 plays, 10, 12 plays, if you have to get a couple first downs, but Missouri came out and tied the game on one play. Like Vanderbilt battled and took the lead in the first.
Vanderbilt was up for more of the game than Missouri was.
I'm not saying Vanderbilt didn't deserve the win of the game. I think Vanderbilt played great. Pavia is awesome.
I told you.
I'm buying him more and more.
I fucking told you he's the best player in the fucking United States of America.
But Luther Burden, got the distance he needed, and boom, one play strike to send that thing to double overtime, and then what was it? Terrible. Double overtime. Missouri went first, got the field goal, and then Vanderbilt shanked it.
Yeah,
Vanderbilt shanked it horribly. That was his second missed field goal of the day.
Yeah,
they Vanderbilted it.
I still covered this thing, but that money line, that's why you roll with Dundee. All right, because I don't think anyone else was saying sprinkle that money line, but I know it didn't hit.
Dude, I'll give you props.
Should have.
I'll give you props on your projection of Vanderbilt this year. They're a way better team than I've seen them, and they're a way better team than I thought they were going to be.
Told you, man. You just appreciate you, buddy. Shout out to Draft Cats giving us $20. Man, cheers to 3 friends for eternity. Oh, the friends for eternity song. I cashed on the play of each of you, Patty C, NC Nick, and of course picked D. It's great to tune in. It feels like you're hanging with the boys and make the AM shifts easy. I appreciate you, man, and that's what we try to build here, man. Is like this is something that
bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah, well, I will be honest. Like it's kind of what we would do in our house back in the day when we were kids. Everyone would come over and watch the games.
Yeah.
And we're kind of doing what that is. We're just putting a microphone, and I have to read a few ads. So
we introduced beer into the situation at some point.
It's true.
Things got
early on. It didn't have that.
Yeah, but we were doing this when we were kids.
Yeah,
but You guys all seem like we have cultivated a fucking following and an audience that is similar in nature. I feel like we're all on the same page here.
Yeah, we want that connection,
fucking
man.
great.
We trust me. If you were in LA, we'd invite you over to the studio.
I hope you all are getting shit faced with me. For every shotgun I take, if you don't take one, you're a bitch. I'm just saying that. If you haven't taken 2 shotguns throughout this episode,
well, I don't know.
Bitch.
If their team dropped 70 points. Which I think only one team did today.
Well, if you're a UNC fan and you got 70 points hung on you, you should be like 5 shots deep.
You should be 5 Chardonnays deep.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. If you're a UNC fan, 5 Chardonnays and
an
one
aperitif
and one Truly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, GBO Farms is saying, please, it's $10. Here, your shotgun. Patty C, I will not be driving you home tonight, though. Oh. All right, so the Uber.
I don't drive. I never drive.
Yeah. But shout out to GBO Farms. Look, my winning ways continued with the Colorado State Rams, even though they made it very interesting down the stretch. They're not good. I cashed this. This one. Watched a little bit of this one, and they're not good. They're not good.
Yes.
They're
snoozer.
They're not good.
Cool uniforms, cool helmets.
Very cool. But
Colorado State flag as your helmet.
I gotta admit, I'm very disappointed in them this year. TCU, SMU, holy shit.
Ooh. Boy, SMU showed up and showed out.
I think this was a C-note game. My handicap was wrong on this game. I didn't bet this game, but I said I leaned TCU. I forgot about the C-note fuck you angle that TCU was blocking SMU from the Big 12, and now that paying is legal and they raised $160 million in what I think 130 of that in 7 days.
Yeah,
that means the players. I guarantee.
I love SMU big dick and TCU with the Dallas on the side of the helmet. Yeah. They put the D. They're like, we're Dallas. You're Fort Worth.
You see what TCU tweeted out too, saying, "Oh, we're on the C-Dub network." Or they tweeted out something shitting on the C-Dub network because of the tie-in with the ACC.
Oh yeah. TCU did.
And then the SMU or the ACC responded to that.
They're like
calling it out, saying, how'd you guys do, or something to that extent. But
calling out TCU. I love that.
Sonny Dykes got kicked out. It's like he's like fucking Earl Weaver back there.
Yeah. two unsportsmanlike conducts. Pretty impressive. I didn't know Sonny Dykes had that in him.
I didn't know that either. SMU 66. This was a C-note game.
What? Let me see the team stats here, because Josh Hoover threw for almost 400 yards. Dude, TCU outgained them by over 100 yards.
There was like a defensive touchdown early in that game, but
it still doesn't explain a 24-point loss. I wonder how many times in history you've been outgained by 100 yards and you win by 24. That seems like an anomaly.
True.
To be honest, look, we give JMU a lot of hype. Of course, the JMU roots here is part of that, but SMU probably deserves a little more love than they're getting for dominating,
especially an arch rival. And TCU canceled this in the future, I believe. So the skillet
bitches.
That's what I'm saying. I should have realized this is a true C-note game. This is a true.
What is the C-note? What does that mean?
It's an old school term for like there's a C-note, $100 in it for you. You know what I mean? Like these are ones where the players, I'm sure, you come back to the locker room.
Oh yeah.
There's
some C-notes. Being handed out.
Yeah. And that was impressive. Shout out to Nathan Haynes giving us $5. Appreciate you. He's from Indiana.
We get loaded on these podcasts.
Yeah. Here's the cost of 2 Busch Lights. Hey, we love a good Busch Light, dude. At East Carolina, you could get a keg of Busch Light for like $28 back in the day. That was your go-to.
Simpler times. Yeah. Man. These poor kids.
That was your go-to.
Go in debt.
These poor kids today with their fucking fentanyl. Just get Busch Light. All right.
Right.
Just get Busch Light. You're
natty
fine.
Ice. Yeah.
Some herbal essence. Yeah. Shout out to SMU. It had been a little bit since they got that. That was a very impressive win. Liberty, East Carolina. We don't need to talk about that one.
Skip right over.
How about the FCS, the Monmouth Hawks? Oh man, walk into Pitbull Stadium and say, "I hear your shitty little music. All right, this is what we're doing here."
Mikey Mack. We at one point had him as the best coach in the
this was tough,
USA.
Dude. This was tough.
That is a tough loss.
This was tough, and they were up 14.
Where is Monmouth?
They were up 21-7, New Jersey.
So, New Jersey, Florida.
Yeah.
That's a New Jersey, Miami.
They're up 21-7 in the third, man. Unbelievable. That might get him fired. He's hot seat watch. Patty C, it took a while, but Saudi Arabia State.
So we get our kicks doing the Seminole rap. We are the Seminoles of Florida State.
No one in America is happy that Florida State won.
The Calgorithm failed. But I'll be honest, if Cal had made both their field goals, they would have won 15-14. And damn it, if they stopped settling for field goals. Now, I will say this. Cal's offensive line was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was actually worse than Colorado's offensive line.
Yeah, it was not impressive. Not impressive. Florida State, not super impressive, but did enough to get the win. Congrats to the Seminoles. Off the schneid.
Yeah. Get that first win. They only have 2 losses in the ACC, Patty C.
Yeah, they're still in play. They're still there.
The bad news is you got to go to SMU, but letdown spot.
And Clemson's coming up too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not looking good.
Nice win there for the Noles. The Hurricane. Now you could argue they look as good as anyone in the nation because 50-15 against South Florida.
I knew they were going to slap South Florida.
I think NC Nick locked up South Florida.
I think I
took South Florida.
It makes sense to have assumed based on how South Florida played against Alabama. But I just knew like South Florida wouldn't be it was just going to be a weapons match. And I think Miami had the much better weapons and it would show up more over the course of the game.
Yeah. Toledo 21, Western Kentucky 26. Interception at the goal line there for Western Kentucky. This is one of those ones though that the delay. I think that Toledo was up 14-0 and they went to a big delay.
Was that a brutal?
That's bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, you just get like it ruins everything you have, and then you get so much time. Yeah. Like that was like a 3 or 4 hour delay. You can really say, hey, this is what they're doing on offense. This is what we got to do. Yeah, when you have that much time.
Yeah. You break down their entire game plan. Watch film.
Oh man, that's tough.
Yeah, I would say it's unfortunate for Toledo because they would have probably any MAC team would have to go undefeated to get the Group of 5 playoff berth, and they after dominating Mississippi State might have had that chance, but did take the L. A brutal late penalty for them when they were inside the 5 or 10. I think it was 5 or 7 yard line.
What was the penalty again? Holding?
It was either I think it was holding.
Yeah, and
they were forced to throw a long pass like toward the sideline, which got picked off to end the game. So. Tough break, but huge win for Western
Kentucky. The Tops.
Yeah, nice win.
My lock of Sam Houston against New Mexico State cashes.
Sam Houston.
I told you they're going to beat Liberty, dude. Their defense is fucking legit.
Hey, if you are North Dakota and South Dakota State, and you are just watching these,
you watch App State come up and just be a really good team year in year out. Yeah, Georgia Southern, I think, has been to a bowl almost every year.
Yeah.
JMU dropped 70. Sam Houston's looking good this year.
What are you doing? You fucking idiots.
Yeah, I agree.
Pussies. Really, it's not even idiots. It's pussy at this point. If you're South Dakota State or North Dakota State, you say you need the invite.
Montana State as well.
Montana State too. Jump up. You'll do fine. You will do well.
Shout out to Sam Houston giving me the cover there. Florida A&M also did they cover? I didn't bet this, but they did not cover by a half a point. Tough beat on anyone that bet the Rattlers. But the UConn Huskies got it done for me, Patty. See, I didn't bet them, but I have them on the over. And don't sleep on my UConn Huskies that are 2-2. And let me read you their schedule.
What do we got?
Buffalo next week.
Winnable.
Very winnable, especially Buffalo letdown spot after beating a top 25 team.
To refresh, I don't know if you mentioned this. UConn whooped Florida Atlantic 48-14.
Oh, and do you want me to dive in a little bit more on this?
Hit me with that.
Because I just want to give the people something that maybe
Darrell Robinson.
They deserve. They rushed Patty C for 421 yards. Watch out.
Northeast football is back.
But UConn, Patty C, is 2-2, and they don't play a road game now until November 9th, right?
Yeah.
So they're home to Buffalo next week, then home to Temple, then home to Wake, then home to Rice, then home to Georgia State, then they go to UAB. All those are winnable games, and then they're at Syracuse and at UMass. They could win out the rest of the fucking season.
Home to Wake, you said?
Yeah.
That's a tough game, but rattle those off again. Sorry.
Let me go back to the schedule. It is Buffalo
Win.
at home.
Yeah.
Temple at home.
Probably winnable. Temple played all right today.
Still, I would say UConn looks a lot better than Temple this year.
Okay.
Home to Wake Forest.
Winnable.
Home to Rice.
A win.
Home to Georgia State.
Winnable.
In November.
Probably a win.
Yeah. At UAB.
How have they been?
They're what? They're trash. They lost to ULM.
Okay.
They're 1-3. I
Okay.
think.
That's probably a win. There's probably a loss or two in there at this
At
point.
Syracuse.
It's a tough game.
At UMass.
That's a win.
That's their season. They're fucking going to the national championship. Put them in the playoffs. My over's gonna hit
What's
here.
that? What's the win total on that one?
I think it was like 5.5, maybe 4.5,
You're looking
5.5.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good there.
Shout out to Weehawk, who is he's live from Geneva. This guy,
Classy son of a bitch.
killing it over there.
Where the hell is Geneva?
It's Switzerland.
Is it? Nice. Yeah, Geneva watch. Yeah. Sounds right.
Switzerland. He's he's just killing it over there.
He's got the Swiss misses up there in the Alps.
Good. This guy.
Talk about big
He's got
tip
that
blondes.
Burt Reynolds money over
Right.
there. He's got
He and
Les Miles. Is
Yeah,
that,
that's right.
Weehawk, are you Les Miles? I've never met you in person, so are you Les Miles by chance? Shout out to the UConn Huskies getting it done. Wyoming's the worst team in college football. 44-17. Luckily, I didn't bet this. I'm done betting them. I don't understand how you can be this bad.
Yeah, you got to just stop.
With like 20. What happened?
Something happened.
Did everyone fuck this like a girlfriend or something? Like what happened in this
you
locker
said
room?
who was it? The offensive coordinator.
Jade Johnson.
Yeah, they brought him in from
Michigan State via Colorado.
and it didn't work out.
It
It's not
definitely
working
did not
out.
work out. Unbelievable.
I say if you're Wyoming's head coach, you make the switch right now. Find someone else to run that offense.
Washington 24, Northwestern 5. I watched 0 of this game. Congratulations, Big Ten, on your new rivalry. And I watched Western Carolina and Montana. I watched Lehigh. I watched, 0 of Northwestern.
Yeah, we watched
Washington.
Georgetown for the entire freaking game.
I watched the whole Georgetown game. But I will not. I will not subscribe to your bullshit. Shout out to the Huskies who are 3-1, and that helps Washington State's strength of schedule as well.
Does. Let me see Washington's remaining schedule, because for a team that you did, I feel like you slammed the under.
I bet the under 6.5. I think it was.
And they're sitting there with 3 wins here through 4 games.
Their best win is Eastern Michigan.
It's not going to get much easier though. You're right. Remaining games at Rutgers,
loss,
Michigan,
loss,
at Iowa,
loss,
at Indiana,
loss,
USC,
loss,
at Penn State,
loss,
UCLA, win, at Oregon,
loss.
So 4 and 8 is probably the likely outcome here. They might sneak in a win or two, but what's the? You said the number was what? 6?
6.5.
6.5. Yeah, you're probably right. Probably the under is probably the right play.
Let's go. I also locked up the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. I think it was dicey, but they went into Ruston, Louisiana, and won in overtime, 23-20. Let's go, Steve Spurrier Jr.
Maybe he could be in play for that Florida job come season's end.
I don't think he's on the radar yet.
Yeah,
but shout out.
He's a job away. He needs a head coaching job. Where would Spurrier Jr. be a great fit?
Southern Miss.
Something like that. Somewhere real grimy.
I'm trying to think where else. Like FIU. Come on, Pitbull Stadium. Get Spurrier
somewhere
in
in Florida.
Pitbull.
Yeah, get him in Florida. Once Galesh leaves South Florida, maybe.
Yes. I did bet on Oklahoma +7. That did not hit, as Tennessee won 25-15. And I'll be honest, Tennessee dominated this game.
Yeah.
Just dominated this game.
Oklahoma doesn't have an offense.
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee's offense, I guess, had it, but Oklahoma's defense is decent. So, like,
yeah,
I just think Tennessee is pretty much, with this win, I feel pretty damn good that they're going to be in the playoffs this year.
I would need to see the rest of their schedule, but
I got it for you right
here.
here.
Like it was managed.
They're at Arkansas next week, which is dangerous.
Tough game.
Well, actually, wait, they have a bye week, then at Arkansas.
That's a nicely placed bye.
Then they're home to Florida, win.
Yeah.
Home to Bama, win. Patty C. They're going to beat Alabama. They're going to take and they're going to storm the field. They're going to storm the field, and Nick Saban would be on College Game Day complaining about
crying about it.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like Nick Saban's gotten a lot cooler now that he doesn't have like.
No, I will forever. He started this court storming shit. That was the first thing. He went to Greg Sankey. He said, "We can't have this. We can't have this. They took down the goalpost and put it in the Tennessee River.
Anything that
it was a scene.
Doesn't benefit.
It was a scene. They're gonna beat Alabama. Then they're home to Kentucky. Then Then they're home to Mississippi State.
Win.
Then they're at Georgia. Loss.
Yeah.
Then they're home to UTEP.
Win.
Then they're at Vanderbilt. Loss. Those are their only losses. Diego pissing Pavia
10-2. The
pisses
pisser.
in their face to end the season. But besides that
would be great.
They're going to be rolling. They're in the playoffs.
Yeah, Tennessee.
GBO Farms.
Nice year.
I did bet Oklahoma GBO Farms. I got brainwashed. I wasn't going to touch that game forever, and then
I took Tennessee.
I was going to stay neutral, and not touch that game. And I was on some shows this week. They talked about Oklahoma's record against top 25 teams in Norman.
Yeah, that was
and
Bob
then
Stoops.
it was Nico's first road, and you know what? I got brainwashed.
Happens to the best of us.
Bowling Green. If Connor Bazelak doesn't airmail a wide open pass,
dude, Bowling Green.
How about the MAC?
Yeah, they are a surprisingly.
Buffalo's beating Northern Illinois, so we know Buffalo's better than Notre Dame. Bowling Green hanging tough.
So they were down.
A&M's ranked. Why the fuck are they ranked?
Yeah, great question.
This is bullshit. This
Although
is what I'm saying. These
let's be
rankings
honest.
are bullshit.
Let's be honest. Bowling Green lost to Penn State by 7. They lost to A&M by 6. So that little comparative property says
A&M lost to Notre Dame though.
Penn State's
undefeated.
Sure, but who has Penn State played?
West Virginia.
Are they good?
I mean, they're better than Florida, who A&M's best win is.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I mean, yes, Penn State is better than.
I'm just saying.
A&M.
I took A&M to make to win over 8.5 games. I'm not thrilled about that wager right now, and I don't think they should be a ranked team. By what I've seen on Texas A&M this year, they do not belong in the top 25 right now.
Maybe they belong just outside of it, but I'll say Bowling Green does look really good. Bowling Green, let's give the man his props. Leffler has turned that program
cover.
around.
I didn't bet this, but nice cover. And then my Iowa Hawkeyes cash for this was triple lock, 31-14. Got your row your boat bullshit over here.
That's taking candy from a baby right there.
You don't piss Kirk Ferentz off, all right?
Easy peasy.
How do you see?
Those are two beautiful uniforms. I don't think we give Minnesota enough credit for their beautiful uniforms.
True, and ever since they got rid of the dome and went outside, I've liked that program a lot more. I used to hate that program.
Yeah.
Patty C, Iowa is on bye next week, and then they're at Ohio State.
They're gonna lose that.
Okay, but after that, Washington, Michigan State, Northwestern, Wisconsin, UCLA, Maryland, Nebraska season.
I want to see.
They're going to the playoffs. My Hawkeyes are going to the playoffs. Write it.
How did my boy do?
They might even go to the Big Ten championship because who cares about that Iowa State loss?
That final score 31. You said 14. Cade McNamara, a whole 62 passing yards. Really, dude.
Caleb Johnson is the name.
206 rushing yards. Iowa football does have some offense production at its disposal. What did my dude Weejan do? Did he have any receiving yards? Or is it no? He's just straight punt returner. He's still one.
You're really upset about this.
He's still one of my favorite players in college football. But
folks, Iowa is going to the playoffs. All right, let's go. Let's get behind this thing. Folks, before we get to the rest of the games, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by BetUS. Bet with the best of the business. BetUS. BetUS has been around for more than 30 years. You can bet anywhere. Don't get it twisted. You hear BetUS, you say, is that only in the U.S.? No, it's available in tons of locations, including internationally. BetUS just launched their all new live betting experience too, and you can easily deposit using cryptocurrency. They got lightning fast payouts. Use our link to sign up and get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. Promo code SGPN so they know that we sent you. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, SGPN's proud partner. Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, props, all that good stuff. The Rhythm AI had a great NFL week 2 with 22.5% ROI on NFL spread bets and a 44.30 ROI on NFL money line bets. So claim your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. We continue on this journey, Patty C. Your South Carolina Gamecocks are turning a corner 50-7 against the Zips of Akron.
Yeah, I mean, again, does South Carolina, would they let Shane Beamer walk at this point? His record should be 4-0 with a win against LSU. Maybe Shane Beamer is going to have a great year here. And Lenore's Sellers.
He didn't play today though.
He didn't play.
It was, what's his name? Robbie Ashford.
Yeah, Robbie Ashford. But and he played well. What was it 15-21, 243, 2 touchdowns? But Sellers, he's young, right?
He's a freshman.
Yeah.
He looks good, man, for a freshman.
They have him for a few more years. Maybe they're just getting started down there in Columbia.
Let's go. They were robbed of that win. I expect Greg Sankey to be a good man and apologize to the great people, but he won't do that. I ate shit on this wager.
Esteemed gentleman.
I bet Georgia Southern plus 37 points, and Ole Miss won 52-13. Lost by 2 points.
And Jackson Dart, 4 touchdowns, 382 passing yards. That offense, it goes.
It does.
Lane Kiffin,
Florida's next head coach, but how about that? Florida's job.
Who said
Bruce
that?
Feldman. Reporting that Ole Miss and Missouri are now valued as better jobs because of their NIL collective.
Yeah, and state laws potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Dude, Ole Miss, I know we just talked about it, how they haven't proven anything, but boy, they can move the ball. Can they not?
Yeah. I mean, they're killing it right now. They're putting up. They remind me of like Art Briles at Baylor.
Yeah.
Texas 51, ULM 3. Texas covered for me. Didn't bet the game, but they got it done. Did Arch look like what did he do? 258, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions though.
Ooh.
Against ULM.
Maybe we're ready for old Quinn to step back into the helm.
-4 yards rushing too, so he didn't have another 60-yarder.
Yeah, that 4.2 speed didn't show itself today apparently.
Patty C. Texas starts the SEC play next week as they host Mississippi State without their starting quarterback. How do they always get backup quarterbacks? I don't understand their luck on these backup quarterbacks, but they would have destroyed them anyway. We don't need to talk about that game because that game was useless. But this game, it delivered. It delivered.
Oh boy. Woo. Can't believe we waited this long to talk about this game.
Colorado 38, Baylor 31. Oh my God. Oh man.
That was a wild ending.
I'm a Colorado fan, and this reminds me of a game we played Baylor, and I want to say it was 97, where Colorado had no business winning, but won on a blocked punt. Now look,
this is the golden horseshoe.
Well, I'll say this:
24 karat.
I thought this was an even game. If anything, like Colorado got killed on special teams tonight, absolutely killed on special teams.
Yeah,
but I thought like for about 3.5 quarters, maybe just 3 quarters, this was kind of a dead even game to me.
Yeah, it was.
The fourth quarter though, Baylor was getting a major pass rush on the Buffs every single play.
Yeah.
And
I
was
still give
convinced.
Shadur a lot of credit. Like, I don't know if it's something they practice all day, every day, but he has great pocket presence and mobility and like feels the pocket collapsing around him and is able to step around and still not cross the line of scrimmage necessarily if he doesn't want to, keep the play alive. He's a good quarterback.
Colorado can't run the ball.
Yeah, that's the other part of that.
They ran for their running backs. If you take out Shador's running, which I actually think they probably need to do more. They had 66 yards on the ground. Besides Shador. Shador ran for like 30 or something.
Yeah. 17 on
this
one.
game was insane. This game reminds me of the game last night, even though the score didn't get to the 50s. This game was just an insane football game to watch.
Yeah.
Like Colorado would score in the first half, and then their special teams would be horrible, and Baylor would return the kick all the way for a touchdown or to like the 5-yard line. So in that regard, I was like, man, that's so cheap because I feel like Colorado's defense was playing pretty damn respectable. Colorado's defense, actually, Baylor only had 314 total yards. Colorado had 432. Petty C. Colorado's defense is good, but this is my problem with Deion, man. It might even be worse than Mike Houston.
Dude,
the attention to detail,
dude,
the clock management. He almost fucked this up again. And then also special teams is always horrible. Always horrible. They're the most predictable offense.
Wasn't it last week where he was up by 20 points with like a minute left and he's throwing bombs from his starting quarterback to his prize, like #1 recruit in the nation?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to fucking tell me. He is a different breed. You know what? It's funny though. It's like it reminds me of those 1991 Falcons where they go to the playoffs. Like they already have the game won and they're like pitching the ball around like to each other just so they could score an extra touchdown. And it's like, why? Why are you doing this, Colorado? Why are you doing this, Deion? Deion is committed to making things fun, and tonight's game was fun.
So if you missed the game, I don't know that this qualifies as a Hail Mary, but it was a Hail Mary. Like it was a half second away from being a strip sack fumble.
Yeah,
that's what I credit Shore Sanders as much. You know, he could really, like that play was fantastic.
Yeah,
and Travis Hunter should win the Heisman.
Quite frankly, that was a great play by Hunter to seal that game. But quite frankly, the play before, Baylor seemed committed to giving up that Hail Mary because
they blitzed. You thought they were only rushing 3.
They should have gotten the Hail Mary the play before, but it hit the guy in the numbers.
Gosh, it hit the Vanderbilt.
He was behind the entire defense and hit him in the numbers, dropped it at the 5-yard line. And then the next play, Shedeur pulls a rabbit out of his hat and sends that game to overtime. Amazing. And like you said, Travis Hunter, fucking
7 for 130.
Can you
receiving wise? What's that?
I mean, Travis Hunter,
the game-winning play by forcing a fumble.
Yeah, that's
when the fuck are the like? This is why
Thorpe
I hate
award-winning play, if not a Heisman play.
Like what the Heisman's become.
Yeah,
because I feel like Heisman used to be like the best player.
No, it never was.
No, for a little bit there it was. Like you were when Andre Ware was winning the fucking Heisman throwing for 10 million yards.
It was the best quarterback, receiver, or running back. Now it's the best quarterback, but and once in a blue moon and a super dominant running back or maybe a receiver could win it. And then Charles Woodson won it once. You know, it's never been about a defender.
Travis Hunter though is doing like double what Charles Woodson did, dude.
Yeah, Travis Hunter is having a special season, and from a production standpoint, and if Colorado can keep winning and he keeps making super clutch plays like that, then yeah, his name should be in the conversation.
Yeah, I just think it's obvious there, and that Buffs defense is pretty good, man. This game, and I was having said all that game was incredible. Basically, final play of the game, and then the Travis Hunter, the forced fumble was about an inch away from being a touchdown.
Yeah, which would have sent it in a double overtime.
Yes, but here Colorado is 3-1. Patty,
do you call it clutch or do you call it luck? A little bit of both, but whatever it is, they got it done.
This was a lot of luck.
A lot of both.
No, I mean Travis Hunter like put his head like that one. There's less luck.
Yeah.
The touch,
Hail Mary,
yes, that is a lot of luck, and the clock management. Well, the refs blew a first down though. The refs blew a first down that was like, Colorado should have had more time.
Yeah, he caught it 2 yards beyond the sticks, but his momentum took him 2 yards in front of the sticks. But either way, when you catch the ball 2 yards in front of the sticks, then that is your forward progress, and so the clock should stop.
Was a horrible spot. It was like 4 yards off.
Yeah, it was very bad, and it caused 15 or 20 seconds to run out the clock. It caused Colorado a timeout. And then look, Colorado State's clock, whoever's running the clock for them really fucked up.
Colorado.
Oh yeah. Colorado's clock manager fucked up the North Dakota State game in their favor, but it looked like he was working against them in this game. Someone get a new person in that role. Like, come on. Guy sucks.
Petty C, the Buffs are 3-1. They're 1-0 in the Big 12. They head to the Moon Bounce next week to take on the very golden.
They're gonna lose.
UCF Knights. I think that's like a 50. I mean, I lean UCF.
I think UCF's better than them, and I think UCF's at home, so I would lean UCF. But again, gimmicky offenses. It's who has the better night.
I would say UCF should be favored, of course, but I still think like they're That's an interesting game.
Colorado comes and balls out. You know, they could do it. Shedeur picks off or Travis picks off a ball or two. You know, yeah. Colorado.
I mean, KJ Jefferson throws some 50-50 balls.
True.
Yeah. Daniel, UCF's the epitome of gimmicky. Gus Malzahn is the epitome of a gimmicky offense.
Yeah.
K-State the very next week, or no, bye week, then K-State.
It's gonna get rough for Colorado. They had better play a lot better than they did over the past few weeks.
Yeah. And that even because before you looked at the Cincinnati game, it was like a win. That's on the schedule.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I still think like a lot of these, like there's not much. There's not a major gap.
Dude, they have like the Webster who caught the
LeJohntay Wester. Yeah.
And then
Will Shepard, Jimmy Horn. They have the best. Like they might have the best receiving core short of Ohio State.
Weapons. If they can figure out how to run the damn ball, then that offense could be good. Defensively, they still have some issues too, though.
They don't even commit to the run though. They don't even try. That's what bothers me.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to the Buffs getting that win and covering for me. Boston College. There we go. The red bandana game. They got it done. This game was awesome, actually. In the pouring rain.
Yeah.
23-19. They take down Michigan State.
That was a back and forth affair.
What that concludes, the ACC is better than the Big Ten. North Carolina beat Minnesota. What was the second one? There was a second one that
Maryland did beat Virginia.
No, there was a second one. Like right after North Carolina, that very next week. Who was it? Patty C.
Let me hit the old standings. Did Louisville beat anyone? No. Boston College, yes. Virginia, no.
Boston College gave them the win.
Yeah, what I'm saying. Clemson, no. Stanford, no. Syracuse, no. Georgia Tech, no. Florida State, Duke, Miami, Pitt,
Duke, Northwestern.
Duke beat Northwestern,
right? And now you have the situation where I think they're done playing games against the ACC.
Well, Rutgers beat Virginia Tech.
That's what I'm saying. So 3-2.
3-2. Virginia school shitting the bed.
3-2 though.
Nicely done, ACC. Wins the ACC Big Ten Challenge for the year. Very nice.
There you go. Well, they probably play bowl games, but who in the fuck knows what will happen there? Fresno State covers against New Mexico. Thought the over would hit it. It did not. Patty C I should mention, is Boston College a contender in the ACC for you?
Boston College is the same team they always have been. They're an 8-4 team that's capable of an upset. And that's exactly what they should be with an Irishman for a head coach.
What else? Purdue, Oregon State. Here's another one. Pac-2, 2-0 against the Big Ten. Get your bullshit out of here. No, 2-1. 2-1. Oregon State lost to Oregon, but they beat Purdue, and Washington State beat Washington. So you take your phony games and shove them at your ass. There, Tony Petitti, Kevin Warren. Purdue's horrible. Purdue might be the worst team.
Who'd they beat a couple weeks ago?
Indiana State. That was it.
State, yeah. Who's a decent FCS, right?
Oregon State's 3-1, buddy.
Oh yeah, Oregon State's playing good
Yeah,
ball.
Colorado State on deck. They're gonna be 4-1.
Let's go.
Love it.
What else we got here? What we got? Hawaii. They have.
Hang on. Boise State rolled Portland State, and I think they covered. I don't know. I didn't bet that game. I think they covered by 1. Or maybe that's a push. Oh, the name's picked Dundee. BYU money line 38-9 against Kansas State. I knew this Kansas State team. Look, if you watch the Tulane game, you knew that K-State is not on par with K-State teams of the past. I really believe that.
Still,
when they hit the road, they're not going to look that great this year. Avery Johnson is not good enough as a passer so far in the 2 games that I've seen.
What an impressive
Kalani Sitake, buddy. I hammered that over. I locked that up.
38-9.
Oh, yeah.
A 4-touchdown win for BYU.
Let's go.
BYU's 4-0.
They are 4-0.
Are they going to win the Big 12?
They could. Everyone likes to shit on Kalani Sitake. They're at Baylor next. They could be 5-0.
I want to check in with Nick, who gave us so much shit last year.
They had a case of Keaton Slovis. It was like a whooping cough at Portland State. They got Keaton Slovis.
But think about this. What's UCF's record?
Undefeated.
Cincinnati only has 1 loss on a
Houston
1-point loss. Houston kind of sucks, but then BYU
1-3. I think Houston is. Yeah.
the newcomers.
But
to the
Houston's
Big 12,
also going through a coaching change. They're the only team out of the 4.
Right.
Yeah.
the newcomers are doing fine in the Big 12. It's not a huge gap between them. They're going to step in. Yeah, it took them a year, but yeah, year 2. Guess what?
This
They're
was
kicking
an easy
ass.
fucking handicap. This was an easy handicap. BYU is better than what people think, and that place is a legit home field advantage.
BYU,
Yes,
absolutely.
It's like one of the most. I would put that up with almost anything in like they're a top. If you had to do a top 25 of home field environments, Utah and BYU, both those two specifically, are in the top 15 to 20.
Yeah,
for sure.
They're in the top 5 of elevations, probably.
Well, especially like how loud it gets.
Yeah.
Like Michigan doesn't even get that loud. Like,
yeah.
like BYU and Utah
Hostile
pack a
ass
fucking
fan
punch,
bases,
man.
Yeah. In altitude.
Yeah.
With coaches that preach toughness.
Yeah. I mean,
Makes it a tough
they
place
do
to
college
play.
football right.
Yeah.
With the exception of not having sex premarital
Or beer.
Or that actually that might even be.
I think those two are probably correlated.
That's true. So what do you do in your spare time?
You soak.
Well, what happens if a girl, because you normally need alcohol to soak.
I don't think so.
Yeah. How do you convince it?
I think you just
want to come over to the house and soak, sweetheart?
soak it up. Let me tell you this. I don't want to get too personal. My bro, right, dated a Mormon chick, right? The biggest freak he ever dated.
Yeah.
The biggest freak he ever dated. Certain things were off limits, but man, was she game. Anyway.
Now I understand why Jim McMahon went to BYU. Now everything makes perfect sense. BYU 38, K-State 9. Patty C, I just want to say that I gave away, I think, 5 money line plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Navy, Vanderbilt, which didn't hit, ECU, but I'm an ECU guy. That one actually, I thought they were going to win the game. I really did. BYU was one. Who am I forgetting? Oh, Buffalo. 3 out of the 5 hit, and I feel like 4 out of the 5 should have hit.
Boom.
Vandy should have won that shit. Also cashed. It's a hard ticket. 36-7. It's not paradise, Patty C. And that's our show, Patty C.
Hawaii won or lost?
36-7.
Northern Iowa. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
2-2. Hawaii, respectable.
Buddy, that's a great week of college football. It's just a great week, and I'll be honest. I was looking yesterday as the games were coming to an end last night. Next week's the best week yet.
Woo.
If you look at the matchups, oh yeah,
fire.
Oh yeah,
give us a few.
Well, your Hokies are playing Miami on Friday.
It's a fun one.
But how about this for some high heat? Northern Illinois can totally redeem itself when they head to Raleigh, to Carter Finley Stadium, to take on NC State.
Favor Northern Illinois in that one.
Louisville, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Liberty app.
Nice.
I don't know. I mean,
last chance to get Liberty out of the playoff.
It's true. I still say Sam Houston, Jacksonville State, Wisconsin, USC.
Nice.
Not excited about that one, are you?
No.
Carolina Duke's always fun, especially when Manny Diaz was fired by Mac Brown.
Yeah.
Then you have the likes of Ohio State at Michigan State. Any chance of an upset?
Sure. A little bit. Stanford
at Clemson. Any chance Stanford goes 2-0 in ACC play?
Unlikely. Yeah.
Illinois at Penn State is a game.
It is a little game.
Both top 25. Georgia at Bama.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Glorious.
Fuck yeah.
Who's winning that? Off the cuff?
Georgia.
At Bama?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fluff Bothwell at LSU.
Fluff. What was it? South Alabama? Yeah. At LSU?
That's a dangerous game.
It's a very dangerous game. South Alabama is bowling.
The Rio Grande rivalry, New Mexico State, always fun. Someone's got to win that game. Florida State at SMU, Patty C.
Yeah, fun.
How about this one? Washington State at Boise State.
Woo! Nice game.
That's a huge
game.
What's
Boise's
record?
That's
a fucking. They only have 1 loss to Oregon.
That could be for a group of 5. What?
No, Washington State can't get the
group of 5. But they could get a.
But if they win that,
large,
dude, that game's awesome.
They're very alive for the
awesome.
at large if they win that.
Arizona at Utah.
Arizona at Utah. Yeah.
Oregon at UCLA. Any chance the Ducks?
Probably not. Stranger things have happened though.
Iowa State at Houston, TCU at Kansas,
Okay.
Oklahoma State at Kansas State. That's huge because one of them's going to have two Big 12 losses.
Yeah. One, that's almost like an elimination game.
The Jerry's World game, Arkansas A&M. It sucks that Jerry's World played it on campus. Cincinnati, Texas Tech, the Tuberville Bowl.
It's a fun game. Texas, wait, that's a Big 12.
Yeah.
That's going to be an important Big 12 game. Yeah.
Colorado, UCF, BYU, Baylor, Oklahoma, Auburn. I don't know. There's a bunch of good shit out there.
I like it. Let's
Anyway,
go.
Yeah.
Let's
Folks,
fucking go.
give Patty C a follow on Twitter at PattyC831. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Hit that like and subscribe button, youtube.com/The College Experience. We'll be back on Monday talking all of this action. Appreciate every one of you, all the people that donated money and stuff. And even if you didn't donate money, but you donated time, time is money, folks. And we are grateful.
You guys are the best. You guys are the shit.
We are grateful. And yeah. What does he say in Christmas Vacation? Clark, it's little people like you who make a difference. I was gonna say it's little people like no, I'm joking. But for Patty C, I say that it's little people like
big
you.
People like me.
Patty
God
C.
damn.
Till next time, this is the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
Run and shoot.